with farm
ABC Sports College Football brings you the 81st playing of the Rose Bowl game, matching the Penn State Nittany Lions, champions of the Big Ten, and the Oregon Ducks, champions of the Pac-10. Joe Paterno, who today could pass Paul Bryant as the winningest coach in the history of bowl games. They're tied at 15. He's had one undefeated team in each of the last 4 decades. Think about it, the last 4 decades. That's longevity and quality. Rich Brooks has been at Oregon for 18 seasons. This is his first Rose Bowl, though he's been to 4 bowls in the last half-dozen years. Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan with Keith Jackson here at the 81st Rose Bowl game. Penn State, will they come out today as the other undefeated team and let go all barrels in an effort to impress the pollsters? With this footnote, that no team holding first place that won a postseason game has ever been voted out of first place. Brett Conway will kick off for Penn State. Oregon will return it with Ricky Whittle and Herman O'Berry. The temperature is just under 70 degrees. The field condition is perfect. It's a gorgeous day in Pasadena. The officials today are out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Courtney Mozzie is the referee. And Brett Conway now ready. Penn State was here in 1923. Oregon was last year in 1958. It's Ricky Whittle from the 8. And he comes back to about the 18. There, the Oregon Ducks will put it into play. Danny O'Neill, in his career at Oregon, had a huge season last year, a little less this year, but the team was more successful this year, as he has thrown the ball for more than 7,000 yards. Opening behind him in the backfield will be Dwayne Jones at fullback and Ricky Whittle, number 14, at tailback. And they will play a lot of tailbacks today. Oregon will send Ricketts, number 3, wide, along with Tristan McLemore. Josh Wilcox, the tight end, also flexes out. Here's your first snap of the day. Penalty flag thrown. They try to bring it inside with McLemore. He picks up a couple of yards, but let's see about the flag. It'll be offsides against Penn State. So there is some anxiety running through the minds and souls of these youngsters. The offensive backs and receivers for Oregon, McLemore, number 1, is a key man. More often than not, the hot man. He is a little guy at about 185 pounds, but he will go down the middle with it. And the idea for all these wideouts for Oregon, first you catch the ball and then you run with it. So they effectively become running backs once they have the ball. So the offside penalty against the Nittany Lions gives Oregon a 1st and 5 up at the 24. And this is Whittle, 193-pound junior out of Fresno, California, getting just across the 25. Now these are the people that will tell the story of Oregon's fortunes today. The offensive front, Bob Greasy, they got to give Danny O'Neill enough time.
4 new starters in that offensive line from last year. 3 of them are sophomores. They've had a lot of injuries in that group, and they have allowed a lot of sacks. Penn State sacks the quarterback very well, and you are right. They must play well for Oregon to have a chance.
2nd down and 3. It is O'Neill looking to the right. He's got double wide there. They stay with a run. They go to Whittle. He's caught by the ankle. He can't break loose from Willie Smith, and he is taken down after about a yard pickup. So it's a sticky wicket in the middle against this defensive bunch, and Willie Smith, who just made that last tackle, I think will have a big day today because he has grown this year, I think, into a terrific football player. In the secondary, Bob, there's a new man.
Penzinek starts the 3 safety. Dingle and Doring, Herring and Dingle both out. There's a look at Penzinek, his first career start with the Rose Bowl.
3rd down, first pass, thrown wide to the left side to Cameron Ricketts, and Ricketts goes up. One-hands that thing and brings it down.
Wasn't a good throw by O'Neill, but what Oregon needs to do on offense is come out and make first down and control the football. Keep it away from Penn State and that high-scoring offense.
It is just enough for the first. Put it up on the 34-yard line, and Danny O'Neal is probably pumped, wouldn't you say, at this point. And Whittle bouncing over the right side, finding a little daylight. A penalty flag thrown here, and I think you've got possibly a holding call coming up. And if it is holding, it's probably against Oregon. There's the holding, and it is against Oregon. And let's check in with Lynn Swan.
Thank you very much, Keith. You know, let's try and put that Nebraska-Miami in perspective for both these teams. When I talked to the kids from Penn State, they were a little disappointed, a little depressed. Not that bad. Joe Paterno stressed to these guys, it's the outcome of their season is up to them. They can't depend on anybody else. He felt they would not be down. Well, I can tell you, when you watch a game like that, you watch it all the way through the fourth quarter, you think what you want is going to happen. Miami's going to upset them, and they don't. You are a little down. If they can get it under control, they'll be okay. On the Oregon side, they said they don't think they can nickel and dime the Penn State team. What they want to do, move the ball and look for the big play to get some points on the scoreboard.
That was a 12-yard penalty against Oregon. So it moves it back and makes it a 1st and 22. Because holding is a penalty from the off the foul. O'Neal smash down the middle. Caught by Josh Wilcox, the tight end. This time O'Neal was on the money to his tight end right in the heart of the field, and he is close to a first down.
Well, what Lynn said was they need some big plays, and O'Neal is the guy that has to give it. They've got some speed at the wide receivers, and Wilcox, the tight end, is going to have single coverage a lot during the day. That's a big throw for O'Neal and a big catch for Wilcox.
Josh, Daddy was Dave Wilcox, who's one of the great ones in San Francisco 49er history.
Played in the same position.
Yep. Played for Lynn Casanova. That 58 team that played Ohio State here, and we've got another penalty flag. So the boys from the ACC brought the laundry with them, didn't they? Courtney Mosey with the call.
Dead ball. Delay of the game. Offense. 5 yards.
Dawson is the umpire. Michael Samples, the head linesman. Richie Williams, the field judge. Williamson. John Gutbold, the line judge. Dan Hogue, the side judge. And Tommy Hunt is the back judge. So the Ducks now absorbing their second penalty. They'll be looking at 2nd down and 6, having almost picked up the first down on 1st and 22. O'Neal back, short drop, quick pass, bring it back into the middle, into the traffic, and there's the first down. Caught by Denver and Ricketts. Ricketts is 5'9", 177, sophomore out of Culver City, California.
Ricketts led the team in receptions this year with 36. Oregon needs to hit the game going on all cylinders. They want to take some offensive plays that are sound, but they also want to try big plays, wide open, throw the ball all over the field. They're not going to leave anything in their bag of tricks.
On the 49, first down for the Ducks as they near midfield. Penn State offense is yet to see the ball. This is Whittle. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but shakes off the tackler and gets it across midfield to the Penn State 48-yard line. He got away from Flint Hole, the strong safety.
Brian Miller on the tackle.
Holes is going to be 13, and it's just a good job by the running back to avoid the tackle. Poor tackling by the defense. The Ducks have what they want, and that is some kind of a drive to open the ball game to get some confidence going for their side.
2nd down and 8. Ball on the Nittany Lions, 48-yard line. O'Neal down the middle. Pass is underthrown. Josh Wilcox was breaking free. If O'Neal had a little deeper drop, he might well have had 6 points in his pocket.
I think the other thing, too, Keith, is O'Neal thought that Wilcox was open when he threw it, and that Wilcox wasn't looking at the right time. He's an old quarterback.
Played behind Terry Baker at Oregon State.
He did.
Rick says he played the defense, and Terry played the offense.
Back in the old, when they couldn't substitute many guys, right?
3rd down and 7. More like 8. That pass is thrown by O'Neill. Intended for Ricky Whittle. What they do is send their tailback out in motion and then bring him back almost with a wide receiver screen like that. And O'Neill did not throw it well. True freshman Matt Belden then will come in on 4th down to punt for the Oregon Ducks. And Mike Archie goes back for Penn State, standing back at the 10-yard line. Belden has been quite dependable this year, averaging just under 40 yards per punt.
Been busy, too. He had 77 punts.
Gets the Mayer 100, and Archie called for a fair catch at the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st down for the mighty Penn State offense coming up next.
It has a 16-valve Z-Tech engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class. A micron air filter to remove dust and pollen, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. Introducing the all-new Mercury Mystique. When we created this car, we pulled out all the stops. The all-new Mystique.
At this special time of year, the Century 21 family joins all families everywhere in a warm celebration of those special places in the heart we all call home.
Grand Marshal for this 1995 Tournament of Roses, Chichi Rodriguez. Yes, that's the one and only. The Queen, Alia Hawk, 17-year-old senior, Poly High School in Pasadena. And Chichi flipped the coin. Penn State won, deferred to accept the ball to start the second half. And right now we're about to see what a lot of folks bought tickets for. The Penn State offense against the Oregon defense. The ball is at the 16-yard line. It is 1st down for the Lions with Milne and Kajana Carter lined up in the backfield. Brady Scott is the man in motion. Here's Carter. And breaks it. He's gone. Goodbye. It'll be touchdown, Penn State, first play of the ball game. It goes into the books as 83 yards. They had him, they thought, and then he was gone.
I was going to tell you he's explosive, but you can see that. He breaks the tackle of O'Berry, number 4, right in the hole, right here. He breaks the tackle. Everybody else has got a man in their face, and he is not going to be caught from behind. Gained over 1,500 yards rushing, 1,000 yards each of the last 2 seasons. Penn State leads the nation in scoring offense, and that is one of the reasons.
Brett Conway for the point. It's good. Oregon held the ball almost 4 minutes. Penn State ran one play, and they lead 7-0.
This is Red Dog beer. It's not ice brewed, fire brewed, and it's not some nursing sipping red. It's just genuinely good beer. Okay, there is one thing unusual about Red Dog. It's unusually easy to drink because it's bold yet smooth, because it's made with the finest natural ingredients. Are you gonna like Red Dog? Yeah, we think so. But hey, it's your call.
We do scout dance. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're gonna chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lay's Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one. Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lay's are special potato chips.
If man were meant to fly, he would have been born with a 32-valve, 280 horsepower Lincoln Mach 8.
Their first meeting was a tie. Now it's time to settle the score. Florida State meets Florida in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl tonight on ABC.
That is the longest Penn State run of the year by Skajana Carter. It is not a Rose Bowl record. The record held by Tyrone Wheatley of Michigan against Washington in the '93 game when Ty went 88 yards. Skajana just went 83 officially. Now Penn State will kick off to the Oregon Ducks, who have tasted reality. Out of the end zone, no. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Penn State on their first possession had moved the tight end, caused some confusion out here. Look, there is nobody in the center of the field as the ball carrier is going to come this way. Nobody's deep to get some help. O'Berry is in the hole. He breaks one tackle, and there's nobody. There's a little bit of confusion, and they were blitzing. Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator, says, we're going to gamble. We're going to blitz more than we have ever blitzed before, and when you do that, sometimes you win big, and sometimes you get burnt.
Dino Filio, number 12, is now the tailback. Whittle had the first series. O'Neill's pass complete to Josh Wilcox. Wilcox, the tight end, who's a little faster than you might suspect, has the first down for Oregon, and one of the Lions is shaken up.
Penzinik.
So you've got time for the injured player, and tomorrow night on ABC, the new year brings new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites: Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and NYPD Blue. Happy New Year tomorrow night here on ABC.
First and 10.
Pristine day about the city of Pasadena. San Gabriel's hovering over the old oval in what was once a dry wash, but now a playground for the San Gabriel Valley region. And Penzinik will come off the field. And Lionel Fayard will replace him.
Penzinik is the one that we mentioned as you take a look at Fayard. Penzinik was making his first start in this Rose Bowl, number 29. He gets hit right there. He was starting in place of Cliff Dingle, who was out. Kim Herring also played at free safety. And then Brian King. Josh Kroll also was scheduled there. So now they're down to their 6th free safety.
O'Neal is back to throw, setting up a screen. Pass to Filio. Filio's on the sideline. Great speed. Comes out of Dudley, North Carolina. And he's got a first down for the Oregon Ducks inside the Penn State 35. Very, very important here for Oregon to answer Penn State's lightning bolt.
This is going to be a wide-open game, and I like the call. Mike Bellotti, the offensive coordinator, he knows he has to make some yardage and make things happen. He opened the game with a wide receiver screen and then another screen. Look at the block there.
There go Larry Reed, laid one on him, didn't he?
71. He's about 290 pounds out in front of him. There's Bellotti, the offensive coordinator. Both coordinators said, we can't sit around and wait. We got to go out and fire our best shots early.
Play clock has just about run out on Oregon, and rather than take the penalty, they spend the timeout at 10:34 to go in the first quarter.
Every day than any other.
Boy, that's the best New Year's party ever. Whoa, I can't stop my arm. But wait, maybe I'm having too much fun. Not.
Maximize for 95 at McDonald's with a Big Mac for 95 cents when you buy large fries.
Oh, all this talk's making me hungry.
Buy large fries, get a Big Mac for just 95 cents for a limited time.
Maximize for 95. Hey, do I know how to ring in the new year or what?
A brilliant idea never starts out brilliant. It starts out ridiculed. Because it's different and people haven't seen anything like it. Be unreasonable. Insist that it can be done. Show them how. This is the software that helps you show them.
Primetime moves to Wednesday. If you think pharmacists don't make mistakes, you could be dead wrong. Learn how you can protect yourself. Sawyer, Donaldson, Primetime moves to Wednesday.
The Goodyear Blimp Eagle out of Carson, California, with Joel Chamberlain at the controls out of Norwood, Mass. is bringing you those pictures. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle soaring over. The cameraman is Glenn Hampton. Hi, guys. Happy New Year to you. All right, here's Oregon. First down, Penn State, 34-yard line. Danny O'Neal back to throw it. He has time. He has a man. Wilcox, he's at the corner. Out of bounds, just short of the 1-yard line. So Josh Wilcox, the tight end, almost sneaks in for 6.
What you got, watch, he's going to sit up and pump. Right here, the corner bites. What you've got is the tight end lined up wide on Forbes, number 46. Forbes is the extra cornerback covering a tight end. He says it's a piece of cake. They throw it deep to the tight end, and Wilcox is the star of the offense so far for the Ducks.
O'Neal 6 of 8 now at 118 yards, and Oregon is knocking on the door.
You love how we were looking. You love how hot we're cooking. Yeah. You love the stuff we made of. You love how fresh we make it. You love how fast we take it. You love the stuff. You love the stuff. You love the stuff we're made of. You love the stuff we're made of. Pizza Hut.
There's a whole new spirit at Pizza Hut, and you're going to feel it and taste it in everything we do. That's why from now on, your pizza will be right or it's free. Guaranteed.
You love the stuff. You love the stuff we're made of. You love the stuff we're made of. Pizza Hut. You love the stuff. You love the stuff. You love the stuff we're made of. You love the stuff we're made of. Pizza Hut.
1-800-COMPARE. No matter what the other long-distance companies do, it just won't go away. It gives your business the facts and guaranteed competitive prices. Only from AT&T for the life of your business.
Not a very interesting piece. Reminiscent of early Dodges.
If he's so smart, why is he using those other batteries?
Now, it's...
You're right, Mom. The museum can be fun.
The Copper Top tops them all.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of the 1995 Lincoln and Mercury automobile. By Hidden Valley Ranch flavor Wavy Lays. Bet you can't eat just one. Microsoft, the leader in software. Where do you want to go today? And Red Dog beer, bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You're your own dog. Oregon ready from the 1-yard line. First and goal. Play goes into the middle, and the Lions stuff it. May have lost on the play. And a penalty flag on top of it. Stilyaw tried the center of the line, and he ran into a bunch of trees. Offside, Penn State. 4:32 having elapsed in the ball game. The total yards in the first 4:32, 207 yards.
Here's a look at what Oregon has done inside the 20. 39 of 44 is doggone good. And look, Penn State defensively, they're 70th in the nation on defense. They are first on offense but 70th defense. So there's Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. He's had a lot of injuries, but they have given up 29 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games.
O'Neal will throw it. Has his man. Touchdown. Wilcox.
It's only right. Wilcox did a lot to get him down there. Here's Wilcox here. He's going to slide to the outside as the ball is play action fake. Watch as he's going to hit him to the outside. Second down and short. Still a good down to throw on. Wilcox wide open for the touch.
Matt Belden is in for the extra point to tie. Get it. Josh Wilcox is going to owe me something. Because when I visited, I sat with him and told him he could have a big day against the Penn State defense.
Tylenol has been my pain reliever for as long as I can remember. I counted on it when I was working and when I became a mom. But since I started competing in triathlons, I get aches and pains in places I never knew I had. So now I use Tylenol even more. It's my doctor's recommendation for safe, effective pain relief. She really believes in it. I count on Tylenol. I trust it.
Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors recommend and hospitals use most.
Want a terrific souvenir? Then call now and you can own a copy of the official bowl game program from today's bowl game. Choose from the Rose, Sugar, Fiesta Bowl games, and others. Just call 1-800-769-8843 and order your official bowl game program today.
The Eagles. There's a fine picture you get from up there. It's a nice soft ride today. There's virtually no wind. Oregon will kick off now to the Nittany Lions. And we'll see the Penn State offense for the second time with Mike Archie and Ambrose Fletcher, numbers 2 and 25, respectively, waiting for the ball. Belden, a freshman from Glendale, Arizona. Oregon going 80 yards, 4 plays, took only 45 seconds. 3 passes to Wilcox, 1 pass to Billiard. 1 run that didn't go anywhere, but they got an offside call on it. Kick's got a lot of air under it, not too deep. Taken by Fletcher. And some pretty good licks laid on out there as he comes out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Kerry Collins, big guy, weighs in at better than 230 pounds, 2,700 yards almost. 21 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions.
Great year for the young man, Keith. He was the top-rated passer in the country. And he was my choice as the surprise player of the year. He wasn't rated in the top 20 of the quarterbacks at the start of the season.
Second offensive player of the game for Penn State. Now, bet you the Ducks know where Kajana is. Collins back to throw it. Throws underneath to the fullback out of the backfield. Brian Milne, and he's wrestled down at about the 27. One other point on Kerry Collins. He is the only Penn State quarterback ever to lead the nation in passing. There's Carter. You know all about him. John Whitman is normally your fullback, except today Brian Milne steps up. Ingram and Scott, very, very good wide receivers. Kyle Brady thought by many to be the top tight end in the country. But Josh Wilcox has got pretty good standing so far in this ball game from the Oregon side. Brady hasn't seen the ball yet. Into the middle goes the fullback, Milne. Joe Paterno said the other day, he says, you know, people don't say much about our fullbacks. But he said, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them gone in the pro draft before we get very far into the second round.
Next year, they're both juniors. They'll be back.
Jeff Hardings is the man who leads that offensive line for Penn State, and it's an offensive front that is very good.
Harding's an All-American. In fact, 5 All-Americans on this offensive unit for Penn State.
Lions have a first down, 37-yard line. Carter's second carry of the ball game, and this time the Ducks get a hold of him. They got him just about the line of scrimmage. The defensive front for the Oregon Ducks, Bailey, Malapei, and Slyman, but it's those two linebackers in the middle that have got to fill the cracks, Rule and Asher, and if they don't step up and fill the cracks, you're going to see a lot of Carter's back. Jeff Sherman and Chad Cota, the safeties, very, very strong people down the middle in the defensive secondary. The corners are good, too. That pitch is swung out to Carter. Number 56 over there in a hurry to get a piece of it. And Troy Bailey, the defensive left end from Honolulu, got enough of Carter to slow him down.
The strength, Keith, and you mentioned it, of this Oregon Ducks defense is their defensive backs. They have a lot of good players defensively. They try to get nickel and dime, 5 and 6 defensive backs in there, that package, as soon as they can.
See the great balance of Carter. Bailey is not easy. He's 270 pounds. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Penn State. And the defense bouncing around, and Kerry Collins looks at the play clock, and it's down to 2. And so Nick Aliotti's defensive people bouncing around, forcing Collins to have a look, and he had to spend the timeout rather than take the penalty.
They've always blitzed, but he said we got to blitz more than we've ever done before.
As we told you earlier, it was 1958. The Oregon Ducks last appeared in the Rose Bowl. The coaching staff numbered 5 coaches. Cass came down with a team that not very many people had heard much about. But he's been to big games before. Johnny McKay was one of his coaches. Dave Wilcox, the father of Josh, was one of the players. John Robinson was playing end in that ball game. Coached there for a dozen years. But this Oregon team came down and played national champion Ohio State. They lost, but only by 10-7.
They've had some pretty good coaches up there, assistant coaches. George Seifert, the head coach of San Francisco 49ers, was an assistant there. And Norv Turner, who was with Dallas and now with the Washington Redskins, was on the staff at the Ducks for a while.
Now let's spend a moment with Lynn Swan.
Yeah, Keith, on Chuck Pinjanick, number 29, he just got the wind knocked out of him, but number 24, Tony Pittman, has a bruised shoulder, the cornerback, and number 36, Cody Carlson, on the first play of the game for Penn State, got his nose broken. They've been working on him, so whatever we may have thought about the University of Oregon Ducks, they have come out to play physical football.
Oh, they'll pop you. It is 3rd down and 8 now, and Mike Archie is in the backfield, a very good pass receiver for the Lions. He goes in motion, and Collins is back. Pressure's coming. They're after it. He throws it to the ground. That's exactly what Oregon wants to do. The referee threw a penalty flag. Jeremy Asher was the man who got to him. He's an inside linebacker who stepped outside. But let's see about the flag.
Watch the defensive line here, Keith. This is what the quarterback's going to be facing all day. Am I going to blitz or am I not going to blitz?
Well, he calls Collins here for grounding, too.
Yes, he does. No question about that. The problem is not only confusion with the quarterback prior to snap, but confusion amongst the offensive linemen and the backs on who to block.
All right, Herman O'Beary, cornerback, goes back to receive. It's a 21-yard penalty and a loss of down, so the Lions, for their punt, go back inside the 20. And Darrell Kania will do the punting. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is a 7-7 ball game. The very first play for Penn State. Kajana Carter went 83 yards. Ducks came right back. Kania's kick is out of there. It's a good one. Fielded by O'Beary, and he is taken down almost in his tracks. That is very good coverage by Penn State Chuck Penjanick. 42-yard punt and a 2-yard return. As Oregon comes to the ball again, in conversation with Coach Rich Brooks, I asked him what kind of a game would he like to play.
Well, I would like to have a game where Penn State on first down is stopped to where they're either 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 at the very best. If we're able to control Penn State on first down, I believe we'll be able to get in to do the things that we do well on defense. And offensively, we're going to have to score a lot of points because it's unrealistic to think Penn State isn't going to score some points.
Well, that second defensive series for Oregon pretty much went just that way. It was Kristen McLemore catching the ball on that last offensive play and picking up 5 yards. So the ball rests now at the 47 of Oregon, where it is second down and 5. 7-7 tie. There goes Whittle. He now becomes a wideout as he breaks into the open on the sidelines, catches the ball, gets the first down. In front of Tony Pittman.
And that's a nice throw by Danny O'Neill. O'Neill was a 4-year starter at Oregon. The all-conference quarterback has not thrown an interception the last 4 games of the season. Started out a little slowly. The turning point for him was when he was sick out of the game with a finger injury. His team went down to University of Southern California, beat him in the Coliseum without him. He said, hey, that's a good team.
You've got Whittle and Philyaw both in the backfield right now for Oregon. O'Neill pumps it. He takes it down the middle to tight end Wilcox again, and Wilcox moves it inside the Penn State 35 for a first down. Tight end was wide open right down the middle of the field.
That's a little trick there. They had a little trick. Pull out all the stops. Watch the tight end right here. He's going to fall down. Let everybody go away from him, and then he's going to watch him fall down. That's the old fall down play. Linebackers forget about him. Comes back in the middle. They're pulling out all the stops there early in the game.
Oregon's Danny O'Neill now 10 of 12 for 143 yards, 1 touchdown. He's thrown to 5 different receivers.
You know, most teams have that play. Either a little fall down screen or a fall down sneak in the middle. It always works. I've never seen where that does not work.
Chain gang was late to get a start. Somebody had to say, hey, guys, we're down here. You're up there. Come on down and join us. He's hit 7 straight passes, has O'Neill. What a bright, shiny youngster he is. Absolute pleasure to spend time with him. You got a double tight end, Blake Spence and Josh Wilcox sharing the position. They both play a lot. O'Neill is back. Lets it go down the middle. This will be intercepted. It is picked off by Chuck Penzinik. He threw that one up for grabs. That was a bad decision to let it go because Chuck was sitting back there playing center field, and he threw it right to him.
Well, Penzinik, who was injured earlier in the game, gets his first interception. And O'Neill, the first interception in the last 5. There's Penzinik right there. Just going to back up, play his eyes. Poor throw, obviously, by O'Neill. He had an open receiver going across the field.
He did have some people in his face, though. I mean, Penn State folks get in your face. They're big.
Sometimes you try to take advantage of a position, the free safety position, and you don't read the coverage.
Here goes Carter. And Tajana on his second effort. Again, they thought they had him, and 2 yards later, they finally do. First hit was by Bailey, but Bailey didn't hold him. You've got to wrap this man up, boy. I tell you, you got to put the lock on him.
Well, here's the last interception by O'Neill. And you don't always have to sack a quarterback. Just get close to him and get in his face where he's going to throw a little bit earlier than he'd like to.
Second down and 6. Here comes Stumbles a little bit this time, and the Ducks get him short of the line of scrimmage. Mark Slyman.
The ball carrier.
And Reggie Jordan were the 2 principal tacklers on the play. And so as we hit the 6.5-minute mark to go in the first quarter, we've got a 7-7 tie. And we've got the beginnings of what looks like might be a fair to Midland contest. The question is whether or not Oregon's manpower can hold up through the full 60 minutes. But it's a cool day, refreshing day. Penn State's third down conversion rate on the season was 53%. Terry Collins looks deep, goes underneath. Ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Number 93, Slyman, slapped it aside. And it's 4th down for Penn State.
Penn State offensively is used to coming out and being very successful early.
Joe Paterno, and when I talked to him about Oregon, he said they hang around, they hang around, they hang around. First thing you know, you're in the fourth quarter, and they make plays. I have to fetch up that soundbite and let you hear it, because he's right on the money. And fourth down. Here's the kick by Kenya. Another pretty good punt. Herman O'Berry back, takes it on the run, and comes back across almost to midfield to about the 49-yard line. Penn State thought he was going to let it roll, and he grabbed it and took off. Here's what Joe Paterno told me last week in talking with him about what he saw in this Oregon football team.
They're extremely well coached. They're very intelligent. Play situations really well. And offensively, they just hang in there and hang in there and hang in there, and then all of a sudden they're in there, they're right the next year in the fourth quarter, and the next play, and they beat you. So, I mean, they're a gutty football team. They're really a bunch of tough, good kids.
This is Whittle, and he gets to the 45. It's the best starting point of the ball game for either team from their own 49-yard line, and that's a pickup right close to 6 yards for Whittle.
Big offensive lineman, Steve Harden, number 77, was pulling out in front of him. He didn't hit anybody, but they were all running around him.
Well, he's the dadgum big. It's like trying to get around a corn crib on wheels.
He's 324. He didn't hit anybody, but he helped the runner because everybody was running around him.
There's contact and penalty flag. Coming up tonight, the grand finale of our bowl triple header as the Florida State Seminoles and the Florida Gators meet in a rematch of this season's dramatic tie, the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game. Coming up, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, following the Rose Bowl here on ABC Sports.
Offside, 5 yards, first down.
That'll be a first down for Oregon on the contact along the line of scrimmage by the Penn State defender. Time remaining first quarter. Clock stops at 5:10. Change move. Change are kind of slow to move. Ball is on the 40. That's the fourth penalty by the Nittany Lions. One of the things you worry about, sometimes you're sharp, sometimes you're not quite so sharp for a while when you come back after a layoff. O'Neal steps away, gets away, picks up some real estate on his own. Actually, he had McLemore breaking loose on a corner, but by the time he picked him up, it was too late. And so he ran away from the hot breath of the pursuers.
O'Neal is kind of nifty. He can scramble. He just doesn't scramble around behind the line of scrimmage. If he gets out and there's some yardage to be made, he can cross the line of scrimmage. Mike Bellotti, the offensive coordinator, doing a nice job with the talent. A lot of skill players, a lot of speed at those positions.
Dino Filio, the single back. McLemore's number one. He's in motion. Ball on the 34. Pressure coming. O'Neal better hurry. Dumps it in a hurry. Gets it to Filio. He's down the sideline. And a first down around the 15-yard line for the Oregon Ducks. Pretty close to being sick.
Yeah, that's a nice play. I like this play. Everything goes away from our camera position here. The back goes to that side and then swings back. O'Neal makes a little fake. It's a nice-looking play. One of the things that Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, says concerned him is that the things that are new that he hasn't seen before. He knows the team that's a big underdog might come out with some new things, and he's seen a few of them already here this afternoon.
First down at the Penn State 15-yard line. That ball is thrown to Filio. It is out of bounds. Did he have possession? No. Incomplete forward pass. He had one hand on it and never got control of it. I thought they had two men moving myself. I thought they had Wilcox moving, and I thought somebody at the top of it might have been going too.
A lot of screens. This is another screen. Fake the draw. Swing it wide. You got to trust your quarterback on something like that. Good call. He never had possession.
Second down and 10 from the Lions' 15-yard line. after that lightning bolt by Carter, Oregon pretty much had control of the first quarter. That ball is thrown to Phil Yaw. He puts his head down and finds his way to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Tony Pittman, number 24, making the hit for the Lions. Tony Pittman was one of the scholarship winners.
Yes,
outstanding academics.
3.57 in industrial engineering.
Gain of 5 yards.
Son of a great Penn State player himself. 3rd and 5 for the Oregon Ducks at the Penn State 10. Shotgun. Give it to Phil Yaw over the left side. Down close to a 1st down. Depends on the mark. Ben Stewart brought him down for the Lions.
Making the tackle.
And I think he's just short. Belden will come. They will take the 3 rather than risk not getting the 1st down at the 5. And they're almost a full yard short of it. So Belden is out to try the kick. Ryan Perry-Smith will hold it. And Rob Williams will snap it. 23-yard field goal try. He's 6 of 6 inside the 24. He missed it. Oh, my goodness. Never got anything on the kick.
23-yard field goal attempt.
And it whipped off. And he missed it. And 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Nittany Lions dodge at least a small caliber.
So that's a tough break for Oregon in that they had a chance to put some points on the board after a nice drive. He just pushes it to the right. It's on the hash mark where you might think he'd pull it to his left, but he just pushes this one wide to his right.
All right, here comes Penn State from the 20-yard line. Kerry Collins back to throw it, has all day. Now he lets it go, and the pass is caught by Bobby Ingram, and here's the penalty flag. And you're going to get a flag thrown on Reggie Jordan for hitting Kerry Collins late. He threw a rope after he surveyed the field 3 times. Yep.
15 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
Jordan got there late, and that makes it a huge play.
47. Number 47 is Jordan.
Well, they're holding him. Well, it's just too much enthusiasm. You didn't need to throw him down.
Maybe he was frustrated because he was being held. You know.
1st and 10.
So, give it a 1st down. Big play out to the 48-yard line. And Penn State to the ball. 7-7 tie. Get into 2 minutes to go. Give it to Carter, working in the middle. And he gets the ball down to the Oregon 45-yard line. And here's Lynn Swan.
Chad Cota making the tackle.
Keith, number 50, Salila Malapia, the starting nose tackle. He came out, not of this defensive series, but the last one, limping. He hurt his left knee. It's an irritated medial collateral, and the team trainer said he hurt it in the middle of this season, so he's really irritated, an old injury. We have to watch him to see if he can continue on that left leg.
He'll play. Salila Malapia, he's in there. From Honolulu. In the middle goes the fullback. Ryan Milne, 253-pounder. And he can pound on you.
Making the tackle.
And he almost got a 1st down. As he picks up the better part of 3 yards on the carry.
2 yards.
So it'll be 3rd down and a short one.
Malapia, he's going out on passing downs, the nose tackle. He is the inspirational leader. Everybody looks up to him. He gets them going.
If it's 3rd and 1, seems to me you'd want the big guys in there.
You're right.
Johnna. Or when he plants that cut foot and heads upfield, he comes hard. That's the 1st down for Penn State at the 38-yard line. Jeremy Asher on the tackle.
Jeremy Asher on the tackle.
Here's a look at the Nittany Lions in the Big Ten. They lead in every offensive category. They've given the ball away the fewest times. 3rd down conversions, they're the best. They're the
5 yards.
at protecting their quarterback. Randy Gander is the offensive coordinator. Dick Anderson is their quarterback coach, passing games coach. They've done a great job with these young men.
Collins, pressure, pass away, tied in. Kyle Brady, first time he's seen it today. Jeff Sherman takes him down at the 35-yard line.
Kyle Brady.
Chad Cota and Jeff Sherman, the safeties, are the people who have the responsibility of that big old tight end, 6'6", 260 pounds.
There's Cota right there, Keith, the strong safety blitz. When you get a blitz, you should throw in the direction where the blitz came from, because that's where the coverage is going to be a little void. At times, Sherman did a nice job, the free safety, moving over to help out Cota.
We've played a quarter at the 81st Rose Bowl. We're tied at 7. The Nittany Lions are starting to move again.
Ahead of you, a dramatic wraparound instrument panel. On your left, a 3-person memory system. On your right, a 10-disc JBL audio system framed in burl walnut. Below you, leather 8-way power seats. And all around you, a car so beautifully designed it can go 100,000 miles between scheduled tune-ups. Lincoln Mark 8. Give up. You're surrounded. Lincoln Mark 8 with the V8 Intech system. Drive everything else first.
不要抽烟。タバコを吸わないでください。Cigarettes not.
In answer to our passengers' requests, Delta Airlines has become the first and only U.S. airline to fly totally smoke-free worldwide.
Okay, we admit the new digital High Note Ultra is not the first computer with a full-sized keyboard, full-size screen, or a 486 75 megahertz processor. But it is the first one with all that ever to fit in this. The new digital High Note Ultra, about 4 pounds light and 1 inch thin. Once again, proving the maxim that good things come in small manila envelopes.
Morning, guys.
Just when you think your diarrhea medicine is working.
Oh, boy. What's wrong?
It can let you down. But you can count on Imodium AD to stop diarrhea, often in just 1 dose, instead of dose after dose, more than 1/3 of a bottle of the pink stuff. And Imodium AD is even better than the leading prescription.
I told you we should have stopped for Imodium AD.
Imodium AD, 1-dose relief you can count on.
We go to the second quarter of play in the Rose Bowl game. We have a new tandem in the Penn State backfield. John Whitman at fullback and Mike Archie at tailback, as the Nittany Lions tied with the Oregon Ducks 7-7. Own the football, 2nd down and 6, just inside the Oregon 35. Freddie Scott has yet to see the ball today. He's the man in motion. Hand it to Archie into traffic, 1 yard. That'll do it.
Mike Archie, the ball carrier. Tackled by Derek Barnes.
As you look at the numbers of the first quarter, Oregon has had possession 1 more time. That's why they have a few more plays. First downs, Oregon is doing it through the air, 167 yards, and Penn State on the ground with 110. Carter has 99 yards in the first quarter alone.
3rd down and a short 6. Kerry Collins quickly to the sideline. Pass is caught by Bobby Ingram, and they'll give him the mark for the first down at the 28-yard line of Oregon. He got the ball very quickly, and he caught it in front of Alex Molden. Molden, if he gets, I mean, it's a fractional thing. If he's a half or less than a half a second quicker, he probably intercepts him.
The game plan is the strength of the Ducks is defensively, are their corners and defensive backs. You'll see a lot of one-on-one situations. Aliati says, I'm going to stop the run with 7 and 8 guys. My strength is my backs. I'm going to leave them a lot of one-on-one, so there should be some big play opportunities.
Here's Takana Carter carrying the ball in the middle. And they finally wrestle him down, but again, he's got about 6 yards, and here's 20.
You know, the crowd that comes out of the ball game, Penn State's never going to miss a beat because Archie's a terrific back, not quite as explosive, as he is, as Carter is, but very flamboyant. Pitts is the third back, quiet, but when he gets in the ball game, he is all business. We should probably see all three of them play to keep Kajana Carter fresh and watch the Penn State Lions try and rack up some yardage on the ground. Keith?
Carter, 7 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown so far. Flips, down he goes, on one knee, back at the 34. So he's back to a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. Lost his footing. And that feels very good. There's nothing wrong with that field.
That was
such pressure.
Yeah, that was a design to fake to one side and then go back the other way, and he just slipped on the turf.
Archie back now. It's a passing down on 3rd and 11. As we told you a while ago, Archie's a very good receiver. Junior out of Sharon, PA. Ducks coming after him. Collins slips and doesn't go down. Pass to the end zone. Scott had it on his fingertip and couldn't hold it. Alex Molden, I think, got a piece of it. Jeff Sherman was there, but I think Molden tipped it just a little bit, and Freddie Scott otherwise would have had 6. He is a very good receiver.
Collins does a nice job. He slips on the turf, but this ball is well thrown. I don't know if it's tipped or not.
Yep,
yeah, it was tipped.
Just a little.
Yep.
Alex Molden, just got a finger.
Underthrown, just a tad.
So it's 3 plays in a row. The Penn Staters have slipped a little bit here, so maybe they'll be changing shoes. Brett Conway for a field goal try from the 36 for 46 yards. He doesn't get it. The Oregon Ducks celebrate their defensive effort as they turn Penn State away. At 12:26 to go in the first half, a 7-7 tie.
What ball time? Gotta build a TV. Oh, I'm not gonna miss this. Oh, no. I'm gonna build a wide screen with color. There we go. Sound. Then we're gonna build the big speakers.
At the end of 1, Bud Light leads 7-0. One action. Get your game card where you buy Bud and Bud Light.
It's amazing.
You could win $1 million.
Yeah, but something's missing. Now what are you guys looking at?
I love your books. I'd like to see them breathe.
Peter's talking to a Hollywood big shot.
I'd like to see them come to life. I'm thinking big screen.
3,000 miles away, and you can see his face in perfect detail. Unfortunately.
Personally, I feel like we're a family already.
Personally, I don't want to be in his family.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'd like to see it fleshed out a little.
Watch your pockets, guys.
Here in Ohio, we tested the new Honda Accord V6 and discovered that the car more people buy than any other is now better and quicker than ever before. Now, why would you want a car that lets you get away so fast?
You're late.
You got your reasons. The new Accord V6 from Honda.
What do the big game, the big bang, the big voice, and the big adventure have in common? Find out on the Doritos Super Bowl halftime show on ABC.
Getting a little hazy out looking toward the ocean.
Working
through the
in
mountains,
Oregon.
the Santa Monicas and the San Gabriels. And nestled down here in quiet comfort, the Rose Bowl filled with 100,000 folks. Jones and Whittle in the backfield behind Danny O'Neill now. Oregon ball, first down, 29-yard line. O'Neill back, gets pressure, gets his pass off. Pass is caught by Jones out of the backfield. Made something out of nothing. Kept looking around, found his safety valve, and completed the pass for 7 yards. O'Neill now is 13 of 17. He has a touchdown. He's been picked once.
He was 12 of 16 in the first quarter alone, so the Ducks are throwing the ball, and they're getting their yardage a lot of times by throwing it short to the backs and allowing them to run, but the passing game is primary with O'Neill.
Cameron Ricketts and Kristen McLemore to the left side. O'Neill getting pressure. Willis Smith, they throw it to Ricketts. He can fly, and he is caught from behind. If they don't get him, Brad Pioli, if Pioli doesn't get him, he's gone.
This is the wide receiver screen that Oregon loves to run. That's McLemore. He's going to clear out, and Ricketts will come into the picture and catch the football. Now, Scioli's a defensive lineman. He comes back, number 5. He's the biggest defensive lineman you'll ever see, but he's a defensive lineman. Comes back and saves a big play for the Ducks.
Brad Scioli can run. As Josh Wilcox being helped from the field, taken up. That's a hold.
Well, they can't afford to lose him. He caught 5 balls in the first quarter.
It's first down, Oregon, 45-yard line. 7-7 tie. Second quarter of play. O'Neal gives to Whittle. Oregon, he slipped a little bit when he planted to make his cut, too. So it's... they're looking to Wilcox. You don't like to see that because sometimes that says concussion.
Remember what happened? It looks like he did get hit in the head, and if that's anything like a concussion, he's kind of a loose wire anyway, isn't he, Keith?
Yep, he's a live wire. No doubt about that. Second down and 7. O'Neal turns, throws over here. Pass is caught by McLemore. Trying to set a screen for him, and he's short of the first down by a yard. Brought down by Bill Yeboah-Cody. Linebacker who defended his zone well.
The linebackers for Penn State are the strength of this defensive unit. Yeboah-Cody, Gelsheiser, number 16, and Willie Smith, all 3 of them. Outstanding players, all conference players, first or second team. Gelsheiser, 16, led the team in tackles the last 3 years.
Third down, 1.5 yards. They run for it, give it a Whittle, won't get there. Ricky Whittle is hit almost before the line of scrimmage by number 8, Jason Collins, the strong safety who had come up and broke on the play from the line of scrimmage. So the Ducks will have to punt it. Mike Archie will be the deep man as Matt Belden comes in for the punting. There's Archie. 205-pounder. He stands 5'8", which gives him that blocky, stocky look. He can move it. Good snap. Kick is away. Good kick. Very high. Archie with a fair catch ball at the 12 on his knees. And at 9:43 to play in the first half, we're tied at 7, and the Lions have the ball.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Nothing.
Don't you just love the wind through your hair?
What I have left.
In all the world, there's one airline that has more flights every day than any other.
Boy, that's the best New Year's party ever. Whoa, I can't stop my arms. But wait, maybe I'm having too much fun. Not.
Maximize for 95 at McDonald's with a Big Mac for 95 cents when you buy large fries.
Oh, all this talk's making me hungry.
Buy large fries, get a Big Mac for just 95 cents for a limited time.
Maximize for 95. Hey, do I know how to ring in the new year or what?
On this day in sports history, baseball legend Brett Sooner got his 200th hit. For more historic moments, watch a whole new ball game next Monday here on ABC.
Here's a look at the possessions of the Penn State Nittany Lions. They usually script the first 20, 25 plays. First drive wasn't hard, that long run, 83-yard touchdown, but since then, not much production.
All right, let's see what Nick Aliotti decides to do here with his defense. Penn State ball back on the 12-yard line. Carter is the deep man. Here comes Bobby Ingram on a reverse. Chad Cota takes him down at the 17. Gain 5 yards. Chad Cota, the strong safety.
Cota is the, well, they say he's the glue. Aliotti says he's the glue that holds that group together.
He's their MVP this year.
Exactly. He's the team most valuable player. He is making his 43rd consecutive start. And he, there you are. Those are the two.
It's his 5th tackle to score and make the ball game.
He is a player.
2nd down and 5. Pajana and Carter losing the football, didn't he?
He sure did.
Oregon, I think, had their hands on the ball. Now, whether they kept it or not, I don't know.
Well, the ball was out. He was not down. Ball was out early.
Oh, I think somebody blew a call. Let's see it.
I don't think any of the officials saw it. The ball
didn't see the ball loose.
Yeah, they didn't see it. Right there, the ball's on the ground.
3 yards.
Left side, ball is out on the ground, but who gets it?
50 coverage. Who got it? I don't think the officials knew the ball was out.
None of the officials saw it.
No. So Penn State keeps it 3rd down and 2. And Kerry Collins sees the play clock expiring and comes to the sidelines after calling timeout and says, hey guys, you gotta get me the plays quicker.
Well, that's for sure.
That's Penn State's last timeout too in this first half, and there's 8:44 to play.
What a party. All of Hollywood is here. You know that HBO movie you love so much? Don't look now. The director is right over there by the sculpture. I've just got to meet him.
The man is a legend. Check that. He's a genius in the making.
Excuse me. Do you have any idea how excited I am to meet you?
No.
I loved your last film. It was so gutsy, intense. No one else makes movies like that. I can't believe I'm actually standing here talking to you.
Neither can I.
I have to tell you, that HBO movie really spoke to me.
HBO?
Talked about movies. Movies that matter. HBO makes them, and you don't want to miss them.
Don't tell me you didn't direct that.
Don't worry. I won't.
Ever wonder what bears really do in the woods? The Passport from Honda.
1-800-COMPARE. No matter what the other long-distance companies do, it just won't go away. It gives your business the facts and guaranteed competitive prices. Only from AT&T for the life of your business.
Let's go back and take a look at that fumble. If we run the play, we'll see that the ball's going to come out early. But it looks like Jeff Harding's number 50 right there on the ground is going to come up with it.
Just
Right
got
here.
his hands on it. Yeah, here. Derek Barnes wrestling with him, but it's Hardings who has the ball.
Harding's in white, number 50, has got it.
All right, Kerry Collins has his play. He moves the fullback over. Now comes back in motion and pitches it to Pajana Carter on 3rd down and 2. And he does not get the 1st down. Jeremy Asher, inside linebacker number 44, a junior from Tigard, Oregon, makes the tackle. I tell you, this has turned into a pretty good paint swap. You know that? They're pumping each other along that line of scrimmage. Both sides. And Kenya now will come in. Oregon will come out of this. They should at least, if they handle the ball with pretty good field position. Herman O'Berry is back waiting for the punt. Kenny has done a pretty good job, 42 and 36, and not much return on either one of them. For the Nittany Lions. Good snap. Kick is out of there. Good kick. O'Berry. Penalty flag is thrown. They may not have given him enough room. Let's see about it. If so, that will be a penalty in favor of Oregon. Stephen Fitz was down there in a big hurry on the special teams to make the tackle.
39-yard punt.
On the kicking team. Interference on Penn State, 39-yard punt. ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl brought to you by Honda, who invites you to test drive the new Odyssey, the Honda of minivans. And Bud Bowl 7. This year it's going to be a whole new ball game. So put the football just beyond the 45 for the Oregon Ducks. And first down. 7:49 to go in the first half. 7-7 tie. Dino Filio is the deep back behind Dwayne Jones. Filio on track. And both for about 9 yards before Chuck Vincentic, the free safety, brings him down. Chuck is a sophomore out of Akron, Ohio. He's had a lot of action today, hasn't he?
He has had a lot of action. Had a interception at the free safety position. Was injured a little earlier and back. Again, he's making his first start of the season.
So it's second down and 2 after an 8-yard pickup. O'Neill's pass is completed to Dwayne Jones out of the backfield, and the penalty flag is thrown, and I think the Ducks are going to get dinged for leaving too soon.
Dwayne Jones.
That's against Oregon. That's against Oregon. So you got 2 separate penalties. You take the one that's the most expensive, at least Penn State would. Wednesday night special on ABC. First 3 of TV's funniest ladies in 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace, another Roseanne, and Ellen. Starting at 8, 7 Central. Then Sam Donaldson and Diane Sawyer moved to Wednesday with a new primetime live on its new night. Wednesday night on ABC. Well, I missed part of that narrative, but the ball comes back to the 48-yard line, where it'll be second down and 8. They accepted the motion penalty. Second down and 8. Penn State jumps around with its defense. They're coming. O'Neill better hurry. Gets it out. And it is incomplete. The pass intended for Blake Spence, the tight end, who is on in relief of Josh Wilcox. And Spence never had a real chance at it because Marlon Forbes had him covered like a blanket.
Spence is only a redshirt freshman, only 8 catches on the year. Penn State doing a nice job that time, jumping around, giving Danny O'Neill a little bit different look.
7-7 tie. A lot of people surprised by that with 7 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd and 8. Willie Smith after O'Neill. He's got it. Willie Smith. Todd Atkins slipped underneath. Atkins actually was the first man to get him. He got him around the legs, and Oregon will be punting.
There's Willie Smith, the outside linebacker. Going to come into Wiggins, the tackle. Penn State number 2 in the Big Ten in sacking the opposing quarterback. There was nobody open downfield.
Mike Archie waiting for the punt. Eldon gets a dandy this time. Turnover. Archie all the way back to the 9 and tackled at the 14. 30-yard punt, a 6-yard return, 6:09 to go in the first half.
So I'll meet you under the clock at Union Station.
Wonderful. Bye.
Oh, Allison, how will I know it's you?
I'll be holding a bag of Doritos.
The new bag?
Of course.
I can see it now. Together on the beach with the new bag of Doritos. April in Paris with the new bag of Doritos. Down the aisle with our new bag of Doritos. Me and... Allison?
Back off. He's mine.
Doritos tortilla chips. Flavors the way you look at life.
Do me a favor. Don't scream.
On Friday, January 13th, see a tale from the crypt so terrifying it can only be seen at the movies. Demon Knight, rated R, starts Friday the 13th.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you, take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Pac-10 member institutions are among the finest universities in the country. They're producing leaders in the workforce for today and the future. If you're an employer with full-time, part-time, or internship employment opportunities, the Pac-10 University Career Centers access thousands of qualified students and alumni. To list your job openings, call the Career Centers or advertise at your choice of universities through the Pac-10 Job Track one-call job listing service. Just call 800-999-8725.
6:09, the time remaining. You see the quarterback comparison so far in the game.
Penn State has been trying to get Kajana Carter going. They got him going big on the first play of the game, but I think they're going to throw a little bit more with Collins.
From the 14. Collins lets it go. He has a man on the sidelines, and the pass is completed to Freddie Scott. Scott is 6-footer, sophomore, Southfield, Michigan.
Freddie Scott.
He caught the ball in front of Herman O'Barry.
Herman O'Barry.
That is Tournament House. Picture provided for the Goodyear Blimp Eagle. Tournament House is, of course, where the Tournament of Roses business is conducted. Jack French, the executive director, Bill Flynn, and the entire staff work there. Ain't a bad place to hang your hat. You got to work somewhere.
Enjoyed being over there the other day with the coaches.
Wonderful house. This is Kajana Carter. Ball comes out. Oregon diving. Got a shot at it. Ducks have it. Second fumble by Carter.
Chad Cota. The strong safety.
Troy Bailey, the man who covered it. Cota knocks it out.
Watch Cota. Coda's right here. Watch as he's going to come and force. The man is going to come right here, Carter, and he's just going to stick his helmet right in the where the ball is. Knocks it out. That's the second fumble of the day for Carter. This one, the Ducks come up with.
And it's first down at the Penn State 33-yard line. Ricky Whittle, the deep back. Danny O'Neill trying to cash it quickly. Got to hurry. Can't do it. Lions knock him down. Todd Atkins just kept coming and grinding and coming, and finally he got him.
Go back and take a look at this hit on the fumble. Chad Cota, that's a picture-perfect tackle. His head is up. The head is on the ball. Pretty good collision by two pretty good football players.
7-yard loss by Danny O'Neill on the tackle by Atkins, and Josh Wilcox has returned to the lineup from tight end. They need him. Things slowed down when he left the ball game. This is Whittle looking for a crack to run in, and the Lions are not going to give it to you at this point in time. Number 6, Aaron Collins, and Tony Pittman.
Tackled by Aaron Collins and Tony Pittman.
So Oregon having the ball first down at the 33 of Penn State, going the other way right now on good defense by the Nittany Lions. It'll be 3rd and 17. Wayne Jones, the fullback, the single back here. He's a blocker. Pass down the middle. but it's short of a first down. The pass is caught by Pat Johnson, who is the burner. He's the fastest man in the stadium. As a 17-year-old, ran a 10.3 900 and a 20.7 200 meters.
Gain of 13
But
yards.
that pass is good for 13 yards. It is short of the first down. It is fourth down for Oregon. So that first play was a big play by Todd Atkins defensively. Matt Belden, who missed from 23 yards, will now try from 44 or 45, depending on where they mark it. 3:52 remaining in the first half.
You are now free to operate all electronic devices.
What a hard-working bunch. And you're working harder than most. I've seen bigger screens on a calculator. Now, this is a nifty screen, but objects may shift during flight. And you're working too hard because, frankly, your hands are just designed wrong. Ooh, an IBM ThinkPad. See, now this is what it's like to fly first class.
How much longer can he last on that battery?
Hey, Larry, sometime today?
Larry Doty for the birdie.
Hooked it. Okay, I'll get him down.
The Copper Top. Tops them all.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you. Take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Your money. How do you feel about investing it? In this market, of course you're... The smart thing is to start small. $50 a month with a Janus no-load mutual fund. $50. That's not so scary, is it? Start to think big. Janus Funds.
Take a look at the previous play. Tight man coverage. O'Neal's going to get back and hit Johnson coming from the right side. The perfect throw to a man with a lot of speed. He just didn't catch the ball and keep running. Yeah, he just fell down.
Matt Belden now, and we've decided it's a 44-yard try. Actually, 44 and a half, if you want to be precise about it. His longest is 47. And it's on its way, and it is no good. He's missed two. He missed from 23, and now he's missed from 44, and he missed them both wide right. You folks in Tallahassee know about that.
The true freshman who has handled both the punting and the place kicking all year long.
First and 10, Penn State.
First play of the ball game, Penn State, 83 yards, touchdown. The next 23 plays, they gained 83 yards. Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, wide open. He ran Molden off. Molden was 10 yards down the field, turning around looking for him, and he catches the ball. So good play by Ingram. Coming up tonight, the grand finale of our bowl tripleheader, Florida State and the Florida Gators. Rematch after their dramatic tie. USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific here on ABC Sports.
Boy, you just hope that game proves up to be as exciting as the previous.
Whoa. I think they can. I may not want to watch it if it's like that. That's a good pass by Kerry Collins. Strong arm, and again, he's going.
You've got to get the ball to your wide receivers. Both Ingram and Scott both averaged 20 yards per reception this year, and both totaled over 1,000 yards. In fact, Scott was a little under 1,000. But those are the big play guys for Penn State. You've got so many choices. You've got Carter in the backfield. You've got Brady at tight end. You've got two outstanding wide receivers, but you cannot make mistakes. You can't put the ball on the ground.
3:20 to go in the first half. Scott's in motion. Carter over the left side, going deep as a receiver. The pass thrown toward him, and it is incomplete. Defending is Kenny Wheaton for Oregon. And Carter had no chance at catching that ball.
Wheaton is the nickelback, the fifth back that Oregon uses in their defensive schemes. He is a reserve, but made the all-conference team, the second team, as a reserve redshirt freshman for Nick Aliotti.
Second down and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Haven't thrown much in shotgun. Fullback, John Whitman. He does not get to the line of scrimmage. That's Jeremy Asher, number 44, just jumbled him. So the loss is back down to the 45-yard line. That's your halftime
Loss of 2 yards.
Both bands. You'll see both bands. Third down conversion for Penn State today. 2 out of 6. Third and 12. Collins going deep. He's got him in. It's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Joe Juravicius. A redshirt freshman, 6'5", big target, makes a great catch.
Juravicius, 83, the top of your screen, is like the fourth choice on this route. He came into the game with 1 catch all year. He is the punter. He has seen action punting a lot more than he has wide receiving, and that is a big catch for that young man.
First and goal for the Nittany Lions at the Oregon 1. They got the matchup they wanted. Juravicius delivered it to the 1.
They've been outstanding inside the 20.
Fullback, John Whitman, and he does not get over the top. It'll be second down and goal.
This graphic here, Keith, they've been inside 60 times, and they've scored 56 of the 60, and 47 consecutive times they've been inside the opponent's 20, they have scored. And that is one of the reasons right there. Brannigan.
Fullback,
that's the other reason.
Brian Mills. He slams it in there. And the Nittany Lions have grown to the lead 13-7. And the play, the great pass by Collins, and the catch by Juravicius sets it up.
Mill, number 22, is 6'3" and 253 pounds. He's a good receiver and a
both
tough,
a load, aren't they?
Tough kid.
Oh, boy, they're tough. Conway for the point. Knuckleball, but he got it through.
Field goal kickers are having their problem.
Oh, are they ever? 1:26 remaining in the first half as Penn State goes to the lead 14-7. Goodyear Blimp Eagles providing the picture on the air. 1995 marking the 70th year of operation for Goodyear Blimpers.
There's a look at Milne. He was the 1993 NCAA discus champion, and his goal is to qualify for the Olympics in Atlanta in 1996. Great story. He had Hodgkin's disease in high school, overcame that. A couple of surgeries, a lot of chemotherapy.
Conway, the kicker for Penn State.
Good story.
Fielded, and for return will be well short of the 20-yard line. Ricky Whittle coming back to about the 18. And before he leaves, and I know he's going to have to leave town shortly, but I just wanted to say hi and thank him for coming out and joining us, the Grand Marshal of the Tournament of Roses, Chichi Rodriguez.
Keith, it's nice being with you, and this is the first football game that I've ever watched in my life, and I tell you, I used to think that baseball was my favorite sport. Football has become number one sport in my heart. This is the greatest sport that I've ever seen.
This is a particularly good setting, though, to watch a game, Chichi. This is pretty fancy.
It's a great setting, but it's amazing. These young guys are doing a wonderful job, and I think that football is great for the young people, and they are the future of America, so we have to take care of the young people.
Well, Josh Wilcox just made that catch and picked up a first down for the Oregon. Have you had a good time? Have you had a good time?
I loved it. I think that this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life, besides meeting my wife.
Well, bless your heart. You know, millions of people around this world love you, and what you told the kid yesterday, if Chichi can do it, so can you. Keep on doing it, will you?
Well, God bless you, kids, and bless everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chichi Rodriguez, the Grand Marshal of the Tournament of Roses Parade. Had a good time. We're delighted always to see it. Here's Danny O'Neill running out, throwing, good. McLemore, Tristan McLemore with a catch for first down, and it stops the clock at 1:04 to play in the first half.
The offensive line is allowing O'Neill some time to move around back there, which allows McLemore some time to get away from Yeboah Cody. McLemore missed 5 games this year with injuries, but he is their best offensive player.
Yeah, he's playing with a sore wheel right now.
Yeah, but he is their best player.
Ball at the 47-yard line. 14-7. Penn State holding the lead. Danny O'Neill gets it off down the middle. Pass is caught by Johnson. Pat Johnson, the speedster. He has another first down, and that stops your clock at 55 seconds to play in the first half. Penn State with a big pass play. Kerry Collins to Joe Juravicius, setting up their go-ahead touchdown in the closing seconds or minutes of the first half.
You got to be impressed with O'Neill bringing him back.
Pass all the way across the field, caught by Ricketts. He eludes 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers, and finally taken down after another first down at the 24-yard line. These little guys, they love to run in the middle of the field.
I don't know why, because that's where all those big, fat, slow guys are. I mean, they can't run out to the sidelines. They're just hanging around inside. Ricketts, number 3.
They're going to play right now. Here they go.
A little short out.
O'Neill on a rollout. Got to hurry and gets out of bounds. He picked up maybe a yard. He just scampered out of bounds to stop the clock in 30 seconds. There was nobody on that side of the field for O'Neill to throw the ball to.
I'm impressed, Keith, with O'Neill. We had a nice chat with him the other day, and we were impressed with him and how bright-eyed and how intelligent he was, and he looked you straight in the eye. But the way he's playing, I think the key is he's a 4-year starter, and as I said, he's making his 41st start. And when you've played that many games and that many snaps, nothing really phases you.
Oregon has 1 timeout remaining. O'Neill is now 20 out of 25 for 260 yards. He's looking for McLemore. He goes underneath McLemore to Josh Wilcox for a first down at the 11-yard line. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. And as you pick up a first down in the last 2 minutes of the half, they stop the clock to move the chain. And the chain pullers are pretty slow. I don't know, does that play count? The chains were not in place. The officials didn't pay any attention to it.
Well, the umpire marked the ball ready for play and got away from it, so.
Aren't you supposed to have the marker down?
They were in a hurry.
Second down and 10 with 20 seconds remaining in the first half at the 11 of Penn State. That's McLemore. He's knocked down at the 10-yard line. Now they may have to spend the timeout.
Use that timeout.
Brian Gilheiser on the tackle.
So Danny O'Neill with a timeout to talk here, and he told us earlier about where his season took the big turn for it. It came when he was at home watching his team play on the road.
Watching the SC game on TV in Eugene, watching my team go down to my, my home area and play SC in the Coliseum, and watching them win and beat SC, pretty soundly with a great victory, and really put my attitude and the way I approach this year differently, completely changed it. I thought for some reason, and I don't know where I got this, that I had to put up numbers or that I had to drive the team down and make touchdown passes. And when I saw that SC game, I said, this is a great football team with or without me, and this is a great offense with or without me. And when I got healthy and was able to return to this to the team, I just wanted to be a part of what's going on here.
Well, he's playing like it. Now they've got one shot, maybe. They can have time. If they don't connect in the end zone, then they'll be able to get a field goal.
Well, first of all, you can't run the ball.
No, got to throw it in the end zone.
Secondly, you can't take a sack. Quarterbacks don't get sacked. Now, you got to get ready. You got to throw it in the end zone complete or throw it incomplete.
And he didn't throw it in the end zone.
And he didn't get out of bounds.
And they're not going to score. Time's going to run out on them. They did not get out of bounds. You cannot. You got to throw the ball into the end zone. So they don't do the two things they had to do. And the half is over. And at halftime, Penn State 14, Oregon 7, and Dameron Ricketts was wide open. Just didn't see it. But it has been a most entertaining first half of play, and the second half may be just as good. Right now, let's go to our studios and join John Saunders.
Thanks, Keith, and we'll get back to you in just a moment. And we'll also have the Wavy Lays halftime report right after this message and a word from our ABC station. Stick around.
It's 1954 at the University of Milan, and a young man gets a C in mathematics, which causes him to lose his scholarship and take up sidewalk drawing, which spawns a worldwide movement in art that inspires a burgeoning painter, which leads to the opening at the museum that caused the traffic jam that's making you late for work. With all that can go wrong in your day, isn't it nice to know you can depend on your Honda Civic?
Here at Columbus University, we pride ourselves on our commitment to academic excellence, the quality of our sports facilities, and the diversity of our student body, located on the beautiful...
But on Wednesday, January 11th, get ready to learn what's really going on.
You're dead.
About time to raise the body.
Call security now! No, it's the wrong guy!
Higher Learning, a film by John Singleton, rated R.
Day One is back with Sawyer and Sawyer. This Thursday, Anesthesia. Day One uncovers dangerous mistakes by those responsible for keeping you alive. And Oprah, if you think you know her, you're wrong. Day One returns Thursday.
The 1995 Park Avenue by Buick, voted best in class.
This car makes me speechless.
Well, let's take a closer look. First, look here. Look straight from the outside. Okay, but it's got your dual airbags in here.
Yeah, just looking at it, and you know it's a first-round draft pick.
Draft, not with the dual climate control up front, and it's packed with your anti-lock brakes here. And you can't see it, but the passkey theft deterrent system's in here.
Yeah, after that last interception, I bet Dave's wishing he had one of those.
Oh, yeah. The all-new Park Avenue by Buick. Dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, a V6, and much more.
We were looking for the most significant vehicle in the market. We weighed technological advancement, value, and performance. Introducing Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Someone could break into your home tonight. How you can stop it. Tomorrow's...
The Bowl Day 95 Wavy Lay's Halftime Report. Brought to you by Wavy Lay's brand potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one. From our studio in New York, your host, John Saunders.
14-7 is the score. Penn State over Oregon. The second half is coming up. Scores and highlights with Todd Blackledge in just a moment. But right now, let's take you back out to Pasadena and Keith Jackson. Keith.
right, John, we're going to join the Penn State Blue Band, the Marching Blue Band, right now as they entertain at halftime at the Rose Bowl. Director of the Marching Blue Band is Dr. Richard Monday. The music is Jesus Christ Superstar.
Honored just this week by the Kennedy Center, Aretha Franklin is a major contributor to American music and culture. Here's a highlight for our Blue Band Silk, Touch of Blue and Blue Sapphire, Christine Wolf, the Queen of Soul's signature tune, Respect.
The Rose Bowl game. Penn State leading Oregon 14-7.
To compete, you've got to be strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
No one knows if the mind rules the body or the body rules the mind. The University of Oregon encourages both. In addition to 18 Rhodes Scholars, 203 Fulbright Scholars, and 2 Nobel Prize winners, 10 of our 78 Olympic competitors won medals in their events. So whether the mind or the body is more important just depends on what circles you run in.
If you're in high school and you want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you can't compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call 319-337-1492.
It's regarded among the top 10 schools in the world for molecular biology. Ranks 7th in America in international economics. number 3 in interior architecture, 6th in special education, and among the very best in the country for journalism, business, and music. How's that for initial impressions?
And welcome back once again to the Wavy Lays halftime report. John Saunders here with Todd Blackledge. We'll get to Todd and highlights in just a moment. The score is 14-7, Penn State leading Oregon. Other bowls going on today, including the Fiesta Bowl. Colorado is pacing Notre Dame. Cordell Stewart has thrown for over 100. He's also carried for over 100. Rashawn Salaam, the Heisman Trophy winner, at 47 yards rushing in the first half. South Carolina and West Virginia in the CarQuest Bowl. South Carolina wins their first bowl ever. Steve Tannehill did it, having a terrific day. 2-yard touchdown pass to Boomer Foster here. Tannehill fired up as they're up 7-0. Robert Walker on the ground for West Virginia. 24 yards for the touchdown, making it 10-7, but too much Steve Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill had a great ball game. 227 yards passing and a touchdown, and also ran a little bit as he had to scramble out of the pocket. This 4-yard touchdown for Tannehill. He really matured under new head coach Brad Scott.
24-21 the final. South Carolina, their first ever bowl win. They had lost their previous 8. Cotton Bowl, this one was a blowout from the start. Texas Tech against USC. Rob Johnson helped contribute 28 points in the first quarter. That was a Cotton Bowl record. Here, 13 yards to Keyshawn Johnson, who had a terrific day as well.
Big receiver, watch the extension on the sideline, knows where the boundary is, gets his feet in. Big touchdown. Both Johnsons had good numbers. Rob threw for 289 yards. Keyshawn, 222 yards, a new Cotton Bowl record.
7th straight loss in the Cotton Bowl for the Southwest Conference. This is the last year they'll represent Southwest Conference there. Alabama and Ohio State, you saw this one earlier here on ABC. There was a dog running around on the field, stopping things early, but Sherman Williams was anything but a dog here. 7 yards on the run. Terrific day.
Everything Sherman Williams touched today turned to gold for Alabama. 359 yards all-purpose for the Crimson Tide.
27 carries, 166 yards and a touchdown, 8 receptions, 155 yards and a touchdown. The Hall of Fame Bowl in Tampa, Florida, between Duke and Wisconsin. Wisconsin wins the seesaw affair. Darrell Bevel, 11 yards to Jason Burns, and it was back to a 2-touchdown game.
The Badgers lost Brent Moss this year early in the year, but all was not lost. Terrell Fletcher today, career high, 241 yards on 39 carries, also a Hall of Fame Bowl record.
For Spence Fisher of Duke, 28 of 46, 314 yards. So that's the good news. 4 interceptions. That's a Hall of Fame record. The bad news, threw an interception on Duke's first 3 possessions. That wraps up the day. There's one more game, of course, still to come on ABC following the Rose Bowl. For more on that, let's go to New Orleans now and join Brent Musburger and Dick Vermeil. Gentlemen.
John, the early birds here at the Louisiana Superdome are being treated to a little flag football here in the background. Welcome, everybody. We should be in for a real treat, a high-scoring game to close out what has been a wonderful college football season. Take a look at this one graphic, folks. This is the 9th time that we've had a rematch in a bowl game. My colleague Dick Vermeil was involved in a very famous one. He's very modest, he's very humble, but he got his first NFL job because you beat Woody Hayes at Ohio State.
Well, I think in that situation, Ohio State had beaten us soundly early, so the advantage goes to the loser. But in this situation, it ended up in a tie. I think that's how it starts tonight.
All right, John, should be a good one. Let's go back to you.
All right, guys, we'll see you for the rematch. That's coming up following the second half of the Rose Bowl. Enjoy it.
You can't play in the Super Bowl, but Edge can get you closer than ever in the Edge Ultimate Super Bowl Instant Win Game. If you win, you and a friend will head to the sidelines with NFL Films on an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 29 in Miami. Just look for this ad in most Sunday papers January 15th for your chance to win instantly. The Edge Ultimate Super Bowl Instant Win Game. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
After more than half a century of investigations aimed at finding planetary systems outside our own, it has finally been done. Now we have firm evidence that they do exist in the universe, and that is priceless. What we know is that we deal with the system of 3 or more planetary objects orbiting a star called a pulsar. Planets around pulsars probably mean that planets can form anywhere quite easily. So another conclusion is that probably there are plenty of planets in the universe. if there are so many planetary systems, the probability that life exists somewhere else, not only on Earth, in our own planetary system, it's not zero. It may actually be quite significant.
Just the typical alien that I thought of.
I use this interesting and fascinating subject to teach students the variety of subjects in science that in other ways they would probably never encounter. Yes.
Found a planet? What is it like?
I thought going away to college meant I didn't have to answer to anybody anymore. I could stay out all night, tailgate before a game, go to a bar after. One Saturday, we even took our victory celebration on the road. I drove straight into a drunk driving conviction, which means that when I get to this question about ever being convicted of a crime, I have to answer yes.
The Bowl Day 95 Wavy Lay's halftime report has been brought to you by Wavy Lay's brand potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one.
The University of Oregon marching band is on the field here at halftime of the Rose Bowl. Penn State 14, Oregon 7. Dr. Rod Harkins is the director. The music is Malagueña.
We continue the Latin theme with the high-energy sounds of Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine. In an arrangement featuring our jazz line and solo twirler, Janet Lord, here is Rhythm Is Gonna Get You.
We'll be back with more of the 1995 Rose Bowl game. Penn State leading Oregon 14-7 after this word from our ABC station.
Wednesday, it's Roseanne twice with Grace in the middle. First, David's dream lover is Rosie.
What are we going to do?
What choice do we have? You got to give yourself to him.
Roseanne at 8, 7 Central. Then will Grace let Libby enter a talent contest?
Does she dance? Not as good as she sings.
On Grace, followed by an all-new Roseanne on a special Wednesday.
You're invited to the 16th annual Toyota-thon featuring Camry.
Now get a special Toyota-thon deal of 4.9% financing when you buy Camry. Lease Camry for $229 a month with automatic transmission, dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, power steering, power windows, and locks, and more.
All for a low $229 a month. And the best all-star lineup of new Toyotas ever at the 16th annual Toyota-thon. New year, new cars, great Toyota-thon deals at your Toyota dealer now.
In the mood for a little friendly competition? Compare the American-made Mazda 626 with a Toyota Camry. The 95 626 is luxuriously appointed and equipped for safety. Mazda 626 also has a better basic warranty than Camry, all for over $1,300 less. Right now, the Mazda 626 is assured.
Oregon Ducks responded. Eventually, Danny O'Neill got him down close and connected with Josh Wilcox's tight end, who caught 3 balls in this drive for the touchdown to tie it at 7. And it stayed that way for a long time as they got serious along the line of scrimmage. And then finally this big play to Joe Juravicius, who had caught only 1 ball prior to this. He took it to the 1. And from the 1-yard line, Brian Milne took it into the end zone with a good, solid block from Kajana Carter. And we're ready to go with the second half of play, 14-7, Nittany Lions. Oregon will kick it off. Matt Belden will kick it. Mike Archie is the man they'd like to return it. Ambrose Fletcher is back there with him. This is a very big defensive series right here for Oregon. Belden, who missed 2 field goals in the first half, knocked it back to the 1-yard line. And Archie comes back to the 20-21. Here is Lynn Swan.
Keith, I talked with Joe Paterno at halftime, and he said this defense of Oregon is outstanding. He said the one thing they're doing differently is throwing a different blitz package at the offense he wasn't looking for. And I asked him, after the big play by Kajana Carter, did that affect the offense? He said, you know, there could be something to that. Sometimes when you score too easily, you get spoiled. Keith?
False security. All right, here come the Nittany Lions up to the 21-yard line. First down with Carter and Milne. The backs behind Kerry Collins. And Kerry on first down comes out throwing to the fullback. The ball is caught at about the 25. Milne, a 253-pound junior from Waterford, Pennsylvania. Both these fullbacks are juniors.
To look at the numbers in the first half, look at Penn State. Rushing yards, 123. Passing, about the same. They're balanced. For Oregon, 278 yards passing, only 16 rushing. Each has had a turnover, time of possession, a little bit in the favor of Oregon.
John Whitman checks into the backfield now for the Lions. Second down and about 7. Collins again throwing to the sideline.
Good throw.
Good throw, and the man under it is Freddie Scott, who probably, they're not going to call it possession. He didn't have it when he went out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag waiting over here. But I think Scott will see the ball more in the second half than he did in the first.
Here's a look at Penn State in the first half. They scored on their first possession, and they scored on their last possession. A thing to note there, they did not have very good field position. The best they had was on their own 28-yard line. The leaders, Collins was 9 of 13 and 115. Carter, not much after that big first run, and Ingram led the receivers with 4 for 48 yards.
So it's third down and a long 6 for Penn State.
Here they come.
Kajana Carter on a pitch, pops out of there, but they finally bring him down. They almost had him again. If you don't wrap Carter, you're not going to take him down. Jeff Sherman finally got him.
Sherman doesn't make that tackle. He's the free safety. Everybody else had blitzed up through the holes, and he was the last line of defense.
Yep. Otherwise, Kajana's got another big number. All right, Herman O'Berry is waiting for Darrell Kenya's punt. Big series right there for the Oregon defense, I think. One fellow may be lined up in the neutral zone. Kick is out of there. Good. Oh, that is a very good kick. Berry retreats all the way to the 22-yard line. There's a penalty flag down, and O'Berry is taken down by Stephen Pitt. That's the second time that Penn has been very prominent in kick coverage.
Good kick and good coverage.
And I think we've got a penalty coming here against the Oregon Ducks. That was a 50-yard punt and a loss of a yard on the return.
50 yards on the punt.
Might very well have been a push in the back. But they're not indicating that, so we'll finally get a call here after they've sorted it out from their meeting.
There's a block in the back on the receiving team.
Yep.
First finish kick foul. We'll go from the end of the kick. 10 yards.
You can see the look of Rich Brooks. That's quite definitive.
Here's a look at the possessions for Oregon. They had it 8 times. They scored on their second possession and should have scored on their second last. They had it on the Penn State 33 and missed the field goal. Here are the leaders. O'Neal with a great first half, 278 yards. Whittle leads the rushers, and Wilcox and McLemore lead the receivers.
They're just outside the 10-yard line for the first down after the penalty. And they give it to Whittle, and Whittle is taken down up around the 12. Todd Atkins, number 58 for Penn State, has been a very solid defensive performer for the Lions so far today.
He's got a couple of sacks under his belt already.
But he's been there. He's been there.
No, you're exactly
all the way
right.
around, yeah. Give him a yard on the carry. O'Neal flips it out to Whittle. Whittle looking for some help on the corner. Didn't get it. Picked up a couple of yards. And again, Lynch won.
Well, Chief, you know Rich Brooks was very upset at the end of the first half when he didn't get a chance to kick the field goal. McLemore didn't get out of bounds. When I talked to him, he said, I'm not going to change anything we're doing on offense or defense. The kids are playing hard. They're playing strong. We just have to take advantage of our opportunities, and we didn't do that in the first half. And he says physically, he believes this young man can play with Penn State. Penn State's obviously bigger, but Oregon is going to be in a fight, and he believes they can win it.
They're quicker. Oregon's quicker.
And they've got heart.
3rd down and 6. They're 1 out of 7 on 3rd down conversions. O'Neal's got a problem. Now you need to throw it, but he can't do it. He can't pull that trigger in those circumstances.
The reason he can't pull the trigger, there's nobody open, Keith.
Nobody downfield.
Nobody open.
Normally when your quarterback scrambles, you got to go with him, and nobody went with him. Didn't have any choice but to run out of bounds. So Penn State ought to come out of this with pretty good field position. First they get a 50-yard punt from Kenya. Oregon loses a yard on the return. Eldon needs one of those howitzers he hit to close the first half. Mike Archie standing back at about his own 40. Eldon's punt, not bad. And he's got Archie in a fair catch back at the 39. That's a very good point. Punt by the freshman from Arizona.
A lot of champagne glasses have been used to prove how smooth a car can be at high speed. Surely, a toast is in order for a truck that can do the same.
Dodge Ram. The rules have changed. At America's truck stop, the new Dodge.
Business is the engine of society. Without it, there would be no jobs, no products, no competition, no advancements. Business is the engine of society. See how far it takes you. See how far it takes us all. This is the software that moves you forward.
I know it's a new school, honey, but you'll make lots of friends.
Attention, class. Meet our new student, Timothy Hayes. Lunch break, class.
His name is Timmy. It's sort of a surprise.
Hi, Timmy Hayes?
Yes?
Your pizzas are here.
Pizza Hut announces 2 large one-topping pan pizzas for just $13.
Anyone want some pizza?
It's a class act.
Hi.
You love the stuff we made on Pizza Hut.
Golf's big winners in 1994 tee it up in the first battle of the new year. Don't miss the final round of the Mercedes Championship Sunday on ABC Sports.
Penn State. This is Penn State's best starting position for a possession of the ball game at their 40. First down, Freddie Scott, number 31. He has not seen the ball much today. He's in motion. Terry Collins looking for him. There it is. And it's a first down. Right about the 50-yard line. How'd you know that?
Completed to
How do you think
Scott.
he's due? He's a terrific pass receiver. And they haven't used him much. And he's been open a lot.
Well, they've been open. Both wide receivers have been open because, again, of the 7- and 8-man front that they want to not only blitz, but also stop the run of Kajana Carter.
First and 10.
Whatever it is they're doing can't be too bad, is it?
Right.
14-7 ball game.
Well, they're in the ball game.
Mike Archie replacing Carter in the backfield. Goes in motion. Here's Terry Collins. You drop it off to Archie, looking for a screen. Got loose on the sideline. And Jeff Sherman, the free safety, knocks him out.
Collins passing to Mike
Oh, they're airing it out here to start the second half of play.
Granny Gantner, the offensive coordinator, was one of his concerns prior to the game was the blitz package of Oregon and how would they do it and would he be able to pick it up? Well, he's adjusted a little bit. As Lynn said, he talked to Paterno. They're blitzing a little bit differently. They've had time to adjust to it.
Ball is at the 33, first down. For the Lions.
They're faking it now.
Give it to Archie. And they're still key to the run. You got Kenny Wheaton, number 20 now. He's the right cornerback or the nickel back, and he's at the bottom of the stack at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. They put Wheaton in, which is a 5th defensive back, and take out one of their linebackers. So it's a 4 defensive linemen, 2 and 5 linebackers. And he's just as good a tackler as he is coverage guy.
Second down and 10. Collins hit as he throws. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for the tight end Kyle Brady. And Kenny Wheaton jumped Brady pretty well that time, and Kerry Collins got flat.
Incomplete. Knocked away by...
Tomorrow night, ABC, the new year, bringing new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites, Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and NYPD Blues. So it's a happy new year tomorrow night here on ABC. Third down and 10. I don't know where they got 11. They got 11 on the scoreboard, but I don't know why. Looking for it again, throws a bullet, and he drills it to Freddie Scott.
Freddie Scott.
And he's short of the first down.
Gain of 9 yards.
He caught the ball just over the 25, and he had to go to the 23. So Brett Conway trots onto the field, and he will try a field goal.
Brent Conway attempting the field goal.
They will spot the ball right about the 32. Plenty of leg. Got it. Oh, no, he missed it. Pulled it out. And the Lions come away empty.
That's the 4th missed field goal in this game today. 2 on either side.
Tried to pull it back, wouldn't come back. That's the 3rd one. It's been wide right, too. So maybe they are slipping a little bit on the grass. Timeout.
You're looking at millions of dollars of lost savings. Savings you never received because your business used AT&T. Which is why when it comes to savings, hundreds of thousands of businesses are demanding proof. MCI will analyze your AT&T bill and give you proof positive, written proof of how much your business can save by switching to MCI. So call MCI and see how much of this is yours.
Double wishbone suspension elevates your feel of the road. Its multi-valve engine and speed-sensitive steering elevate your sense of control. While its looks, well, they will elevate your mood. Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger. It's more than just a car. It's an elevator.
Red Dog here. Look at them. Making fools of themselves. And for what? A pat on the head and a dog biscuit?
What do you think of that?
You got a mind of your own.
Oh.
Know what I'm saying? Do what's right for you. Hey, buddy, nothing personal.
Red Dog beer. Bold yet smooth, easy to drink.
But I don't jump through hoops for nobody.
Is Metavoid being hounded by a gypsy curse?
I'm not a person who responds to threats.
And why would my gums all of a sudden start bleeding?
An all-new Blue. Tuesday, viewer discretion advised.
Tom Osborne's cousin lives up there. That's right up behind the Rose Bowl. Well, it never happened that a team in first place won its postseason game was voted out of first place. Never happened. First down for the Oregon Ducks. The ball at the 25-yard line. Danny O'Neal back half-time. Now they flush him. And he's going to pick up some at about 7 yards on the play. Won't be running around too much and letting those big old boys like Gelsheiser and Jeff Perry jump on you. They'll flatten your tire.
Well, O'Neal didn't realize that they had gone from a 4-man line to a 3, dropped 5 men deep in the short zones and 3 deep behind them. So I think Jerry Sandusky, just defensive coordinator, moving his defenses around, goes to another 3-man line, and both outside linebackers put.
Dino Filio in the backfield now, and they run him up close to the 35. Depends on the spot whether or not he's got his first down.
Stewart making the tackle.
And he does not. Going to go across the 35. Third and a half a yard. 8 minutes and 49 seconds of the clock running. 14-7, Penn State leading the Oregon Ducks. O'Neal trying for the first down. His second effort may have gotten it, but I don't think so. I don't think he got it. Penn State just absolutely collapsed the offensive front, and it's going to be 4th down.
Todd Atkins making the tackle.
Look at the line of scrimmage. The center gets stuck. That's Greg. Zeke, number 51, was right there. So it's a good defensive line charge by the Lions.
And it may be Gelsheiser that's down. Looks like 16 down. So there's the boss man of the defense right there, flat of his back, as they work on his leg. Tonight in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game, rematch, Florida State and Florida. Gators had the Seminoles locked in the teepee, and they got loose in the regular season game. And that could just be a war. I mean, it'll just be a war. You know it will. And it's coming after the Rose Bowl.
Danny Cannell, I think, maybe came of age in that ball game in the second half against Florida. Gelsheiser is walking off. It looks like it's an ankle problem or something. He'll be missed. He was the number 2 tackler in all of the Big Ten this year.
All right, they'll punt it on 4th and a half a yard, or a full yard now. Good snap. No pressure though. The kick's out of there. Mike Archie has to back up and let it bounce. And it gets an Oregon roll. It keeps on trickling and will finally expire at about the 21-yard line. Turns out to be a 45-yard punt. And we've got 7 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
Salih Malapai, the Samoan, and on his stomach. Look at that. Now, Keith, I'm told, I don't know, but Turian tells me that you may have Sherman Oaks across your front.
Not a not only fix my house. 21-yard line for Penn State with Carter and Milne in the backfield. And Collins throwing on first down. Down the middle. Pass complete. Kyle Brady tied in. Let me tell you something about Brady now. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. Your safeties are the people who have to deal with him. And they are Chad Cota, 6'1" and 190-91. He's more than 181. Jeff Sherman at about 180. So they're giving away height, 5 inches. They're giving away about 70 pounds.
This kid is the best ever tight end that has played at Penn State. They had a good receiving tight end in Ted Qualick a few years back. But as far as blocking and receiving the whole package, Kyle Brady is the best that Joe Paterno has had. In fact, he said that Kerry Collins has played as well as any quarterback that he has had there, and that Kajana Carter has run as well as all of his great backs, Kurt Warner and the other ones included. And, you know, that's pretty strong when you've got 3 guys on your offense, best position players ever.
That's Freddie Scott in motion. He leaves Ingram on the near side. There's the wide man. Hand it to the up man, the fullback, number 22, Brian Milne. Boy, I tell you, these 2 fullbacks are they are big, strong people.
This offense is averaging 48 points a game. They are the #1 scoring offense in the country and the #1 offense in the country as far as total yards are concerned.
Gain of 3 yards. Ball is at the 35-yard line. Second down and 7 on the Nittany Lions. They're leading 14-7. Oregon again lines them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here they come. Pass is away, and the pass is incomplete. Alex Molden covering Freddie Scott. That's a pretty good matchup there. There's no inhibitions about Molden and O'Berry. They'll take you on man and run all over the field with you.
Well, here's what you're getting. The linebacker is blitzing. You're going to have 6 guys coming. When you do that, everybody in the secondary is matched up. You see Sherman at the top of your screen is matched up. He throws the other way. You just have to get open. And Scott didn't get open.
Somebody had a hold of him as they let the ball go, too. On third down, Kerry Collins has time to pump it, then takes the lick, completes the pass. First down. Thrown to Juravicius. It was Juravicius who made the catch on the big play that set up the go-ahead touchdown. Now he comes up with another big play.
And Juravicius, as you mentioned, probably has gotten less playing time than all of the other wide receivers.
He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman from Charleston, Ohio.
And I think one of the reasons he's able to get open is because of his size, Keith.
Yep.
6'5" and 220, as you mentioned. He can just, if he just positions himself inside the corner, he's open.
It's become Kerry Collins' ball game now, hasn't it?
Yep.
Back to throw again on first down. To the sideline. The pass is complete to Mike Archie. And Archie has what appears to be another first down or very close to it.
Mike Archie.
It'll be on the Oregon side of the field near the 46-yard line.
And as you mentioned, it's Collins' game now, and it really plays into the strength of the Ducks because their strength is their secondary. They've stopped Carter, Kajana Carter, other than that first run of the game. Their strength is in their secondary. They're forcing Collins to throw the ball against that secondary.
Yeah, but somebody's got to get in the quarterback space. The best secondary in the world isn't going to do much if you give that guy like that time to stand around and survey.
That's why the blitzing. The 5 and 6 men come to put pressure because the defensive line is not the strength of this defensive team.
The size of Kerry Collins impressive, though. The Michigan game earlier this year when he shook big old Steve Morrison off his back and threw a rope for a pass completion, he sold me right there.
Yeah.
He's about 235 or so pounds. He stands 6'5".
He's only been sacked 5 times this year.
That's testimony to those blue-collar guys in front of him. Archie and Whitman in the backfield. Second down and very short. Collins dancing around. They're coming after him, but he gets his pass away. It's intercepted. Bad news for Oregon in the aftermath of this play. Rich Rue, number 48, the inside linebacker, is hurt. So we've got a timeout for Rich Rue right now at 5:35 to go in the third quarter.
We were looking for the most significant vehicle in the market. We weighed technological advancement, value, and performance. Introducing Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Look, I appreciate the fact that fast food is fairly inexpensive.
Only 99 cents.
I know it's convenient and all that, but if I'm going to give you 99 of my cents, you're going to have to give me more than just some burger. I mean, is it a Whopper? Is it plain broil or is it fried? Can I get it how I want it? Or am I going to be scraping gobs of secret sauce off the bun? I mean, I can get a roll of duct tape for 99 cents. Doesn't mean I want to make it my lunch.
The 99-cent Whopper, now at Burger King.
Billions of years ago, the only place to get a nice gift was the airport. A good meal, the airport. Rent a wheel, the airport. That's why Thrifty Car Rental opened in your neighborhood. Now we're making it easier than ever before to rent really great wheels at very neighborly rates. And if you're at the airport, we're in that neighborhood too. Your neighborhood Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl, brought to you by Pizza Hut. You love the stuff we're made of. And the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions judge us by our performance. Oregon's ball, first down, Penn State 17-yard line after Reggie Jordan's first interception. Rich Rule walked off the field. Geldheiser's is back for Penn State, having had an ankle retaped. And it's Whittle and Jones lined up behind Danny O'Neill. They've not been in the air yet in this half. By Jones, fullback out of La Puente, California, and Geldheiser is right there. You could hear that one all the way in Pomona as they ran together.
Geldheiser put on some other shoes to get some high tops on.
Well, they retaped his ankle, and they are high tops, yes.
No gain on
He's had ankle trouble, I think.
Like he put some white tape over those high tops.
Yep. There was nothing on that play. Nothing. So it is second down and 10.
Oregon had 29 passes first half, none yet this half.
O'Neill's pass to the corner. Gotta be good.
I don't think he came down in bounds.
Tristan McLemore. He was carried out on the shoulders of a Penn State defender. The officials have signaled nothing.
Yeah, he signaled touchdown.
Where?
The one man down there, the one official signaled touchdown. But you got to get a foot in bounds. This is not the NFL rule where if you're pushed out. Let's take a look.
They carried him out,
I don't think he got a foot in. This is not the NFL where if you're carried out, the official judgment, if he doesn't get a foot in bounds on his own, he's out of bounds.
It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, folks. Here's the kick. And he just barely got it through. So Belden's having a hard time with this place kicking stuff today. But we're tied at 14 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the third quarter.
It's from the other side of the field. McLemore, great leaping ability.
He's clearly out of bounds, but it's also clear that they're carrying him. So I still haven't seen anybody call touchdown.
Still can't see
I guess
clearly.
the man
This is the
standing
best
over there
shot.
in the back corner did.
Whether one of his feet get down. Let's see.
Yeah, right
there. And then, I don't know. I don't know if that official was looking. If that official was looking at the foot or not, but it was awfully close.
Whew. Well, it's pretty exciting stuff. 14-14. Only one man threw up his hands, and I couldn't find him over there in the corner. So Oregon has pulled even with the Nittany Lions at 14, and will kick off now. At the 7. That's fresh legs. Finally got him. At the 21-yard line.
His fresh legs wore out, didn't they?
Yeah, but it makes a difference. Isaac Walker, a cornerback, finally ran him down at the Oregon 21. So the Ducks get themselves pinned in the middle of the field, and the Nittany Lions blow them out of the water.
Well, Collins makes a mistake. Oregon turns it into a touchdown, and Penn State comes right back and shows its grit on its special teams. The kickoff return team makes a big play, and Penn State has it on about the 21-yard line.
4:40 to play in the third quarter. 14-14 tie. This is Carter. And Tajana Carter is taken down by Kenny Wheaton at about the 17-yard line. So that's a pickup of 4 yards. Carter's been pretty quiet since that big opening run. 32 yards, a couple of fumbles. They have really been on his case. Second down, 6.
Here they come.
Carter again. He's gone.
Yeah.
Wide open left side. Bang. Penn State comes right back and regains the lead. But it was the kickoff return that did it. Oregon got pinned in the middle. And the Nittany Lions buried them. And from the 21, it was pretty easy.
Nick Alioti, the defensive coordinator, says we're going to gamble. Look at all these guys blitzing, and there's going to be a huge hole up inside. Offensive line does a nice job. As Conlon, number 53, comes across and gets a block. Maybe one of the easiest touchdowns.
Took 1 minute and 1 second.
Carter ever scored.
Is good on the point. So Nick now has got to regroup his group at 3:53 to play in the third quarter.
There's a look from behind the defense. Asher 44 on a blitz. Conlon 53 picks him up. Look at that size of that hole. What happens when you gamble, you live by the blitz, sometimes you're going to hit it at the right time. What you want to do is create a crease in there, and there are no defensive backs or linebackers if they're all blitzing left to make a tackle.
The Goodyear Blimp Eagles giving you these aerial pictures. Glenn Hampton, the cameraman. Goodyear Blimps traveling over 100,000 miles each year, covering major events, not necessarily sports, a lot of different kinds of events. Great picture platform. When you see the blimp in town, you know something's going on.
Penn State was tied, and it didn't take them long. 2 plays, 21 yards. Didn't take them long to score.
2.14 is their average. Average
2
time
minutes and 14 seconds. 78 scoring drives coming into the game, averaging 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
We're getting down into the point, too, where you start wondering about depth, manpower depth.
Well, that was certainly
it's a cool day. It's a cool day. So that
played a factor last night in Nebraska's win over Miami, didn't it? Fourth quarter.
Yep. Well back in the end zone. No return by
Ricky Whittle downs the ball in the end zone.
Well, they've shut down that little wide receiver screen move, that play they like. They haven't done anything with that lately. They've changed up the defense and got some confusion for Danny O'Neill to look at. Josh Wilcox has been shut down here in the third quarter. So the Ducks now need to look around and see if they can find another two.
It's right. Penn State adjusted defensively. Look at Josh. He's healthy. Jerry Sandusky made some adjustments. Now Oregon has to react to those adjustments.
Bill, you're all on a screen. Yeah, he got some room. Oh, my goodness. He might have scored because he had McLemore going downfield, and McLemore could have picked off Jason Collins, and it would have been fixed. But somebody just got the top of his foot.
Gain of 20 yards. From the other side, Ricketts, number 3, is going to get a nice block inside on one of the linebackers. You're not going to see it, but
Gelsheiser.
Gelsheiser that got a piece of him?
Yep. He's a good one. First down for the Ducks now, up at the 40. O'Neill's over 300 yards. Look out, Willie Smith's coming. Pass down the middle. That'll be picked off. Bad pass. And Nittany Lions are cooking. It is Chuck Penzinik who made his first start in this ball game. This is his second interception. He runs it all the way back to the 13-yard line. What kind of a story do you think that is? Here is a kid that moved over to a position he had not played this year. He got his first start. His palms were like 2 rainstorms when he came to the ballpark today. And all of a sudden, he's having the game of his life.
Here's Penzinik, and they're trying to hit the square end. And the problem is, he's just going to throw the ball too high and right to Penzinik. It's a little play action. They're trying to get the safety to bite. Penzinik is staying deep. Deep middle, the ball is overthrown.
Yeah, that was Oregon's mistake. No question about it. It was a mistake by Danny. He just threw the ball.
Tried to force it.
Tried to force it. Too many white shirts. And here's Penn State knocking on the door.
Pass.
From the back it comes to Collins. Collins is hit just as he catches the ball. And he will pick up a couple of yards as Herman O'Berry spelled that one coming. See, Mike Archie had a touchdown pass earlier in the season, you know, and he's been whooping that pretty good.
He's 2 for 2. And both of them were for touchdowns. So he's saying, oh, shucks. He says, Todd, Kerry Collins, you got to get in the end zone here. Come on. You're ruining my average.
It'll be second down and 8 for the Lions at the Oregon 11-yard line. Ducks defense needs to get its back up right here. Tajana Carter and Brian Milne in the backfield, and that's Scott in motion. And it's Carter with the ball. Oh, I tell you, he is quick in traffic. He has great balance. Big, thick, long leg.
He's the best I've seen, Keith. We've seen a lot of them this year, but he's got a good offensive line, and he's got a tight end that can block, and he's got fullbacks that can block. Conlon gets rid of Asher, but this kid, he reminds me of Emmitt Smith. He is strong, and he is built low to the ground. Penn State has blockers everywhere. The tight end can block, the fullbacks can block, and tailback benefits from all of that.
It is first and goal for Penn State at the Oregon 3. 21-14, Nittany Lions have the lead as we head toward the end of the third quarter. Defense, Penn State defense is the difference in this game. Now, it was the offense early on. This is Carter, and he's touchdown. So, Penzinik comes up with the interception, the big return, and the offense just sticks it right into the end zone.
Watch here as the whole line is going to come off, and the play is just going to come around the left side. Nobody pulls. Tight end got his man. Whitman has a man. Just straight blocking.
Brett Conway for the extra point. Good. In case you're curious about how long it took Penn State to score after they got possession, well, the first one was 13 seconds. The second was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. The third one was 1 minute and 1 second. And this one was 1 minute and 16 seconds.
What's the rush?
That's probably what the defensive guys are saying.
Yeah, you're
Wait a
exactly
minute.
right.
Take
Yeah.
some time.
Brady, Whitman's 38. That's Whitman, number 38. He's the fullback. Offensive line, Johnson and Rivera. Hardings is the All-American. Conlon, Greeley, the center.
And they've been running that play and doing that. Successful teams have since before Canute Rockney, folks. Ain't nothing fancy there.
You're exactly right.
It's just button heads and big, fast people beating little, fast people.
Yeah.
Dino Filiaw, number 12, is back there with Ricky Whittle now, the deep people for the Oregon Ducks as the Nittany Lion coaches continue to work. It's surprising how many people will blossom for you after a regular season and going into a postseason game. That's why it's so valuable for coaches to get into postseason games. They get those extra days of training.
Practice time.
Yep.
Especially for the freshmen and sophomores.
Long driving kick back inside the end zone and beyond, and it'll come back to the 20. That's where the Ducks will go to work. 2 minutes and 1 second. They've been very quiet here in the third quarter. Had that one play where they almost broke him down the sideline.
First and 10, Oregon.
We've got 693 yards total in this game. 347 by Penn State, 346 by the Oregon Ducks. 28-14, Nittany Lions. Let's see if the Ducks can do some responding. Danny O'Neill hands it off to Dwayne Jones, and Jones on a quick hitter over the left side. He'll have about 5, maybe 6 yards.
By Brian Geldheiser.
So much conversation.
Bill.
Some people call it hype, and I guess that's what it was. But it was a wearing experience for everybody involved. Between the two undefeated teams, Nebraska, Tom Osborne, Penn State, Joe Paterno. I mean, these are two of the highest quality people in the game of college football.
Class people.
Yep. That ball is thrown right through the hands of Dameron Ricketts. And they're friends. So I asked Joe the other day in a quiet moment his feelings about Nebraska winning in the Orange Bowl against Miami. And here's what he said.
The press can say what they want, newspaper people, television, anybody can say what they want, but nobody can take away from the fact that we did what we set out to do, and that was to win all our football games, get to the Rose Bowl, and if we can, win the Rose Bowl. And, you know, my mom, when I was a kid growing up, when the kids used to call me, in the neighborhood we were in, they'd call me WAP and things like that, and I'd come home crying. My mom used to say to me, nobody can make you feel inferior unless you let them. And nobody can take a national championship away from us if we win all our football games, because we're going to feel as if we're national champions.
That's the way he feels. That's what he said all along. Now, Tom Osborne and his Nebraska Cornhuskers appear that they're going to get the vote. You heard what Tom said earlier today. He has an even keel about it. He doesn't have control of it. He's not involved in a game that'll decide it. He's got to wait for people to cast ballots. 32-yard line. And O'Neill back. Throws to Whittle. Whittle's in trouble with Willie Smith. Gets away from him, but steps out of bounds. Steps out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage. So I don't know. All my feelings, and I've made it as clear as I can make it, I think this would have been a great year to have had 4 teams, top 4 teams, after the bowl games play 2 weeks. And you could have at least had a test run. Got some feeling about it.
Well, you've got the coalition set up this year, and next year it's going to be the alliance, where they're trying to get the top teams to play each other. The problem is that the Rose Bowl is not involved in the alliance. You know, Keith, I mean, I'm not against the playoff, but if you can convince me that it wouldn't hurt the bowl system as we know it today. This is a great bowl.
Yes, it is.
We've got over a...
That's Whittle with the ball, and he's got an Oregon first down up on the 45-yard line.
And over 100,000 people here today.
O'Neill's pass complete to
But you
Ricky
tell me
Whittle.
this. If Penn State, the
Tackled
fans,
by
or the
Brian
Oregon
Joe-
fans, if Penn
Joe
State was number 2 like they are, and there was going to be another game next week between the 2 undefeated teams, if Penn State came out of this in Nebraska, and you were back in Pennsylvania, and you couldn't afford 2 trips,
15-yard gain, 1st and 10.
and the championship game was going to be wherever, in New Orleans or in Miami or wherever, and you couldn't afford 2 trips. All you could afford was 1 trip. Would this stadium be full, or would the one next week and not affect the bowl game?
That's a defensive play by the Penn State Nittany Lions, Terry Killen, who came pouring in on a bull rush and knocked the Oregon man down back at the 40-yard line. Well, I don't know. The only problem I got with it is I don't want to see it control of things get in the hands of bowl promoters. I think the college people have still got to keep control of it. And that's the first thing I look at. As we come down to the end of the 3rd quarter, we'll be back with more of the 95 Rose Bowl after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Auto registration in the green line. License renewal.
Gee, I love renewing my license. What a happy place. Or is it these new Doritos? It's great here. Such friendly service. All these smiling faces. Or is it the chef? Everyone's just so eager to help. I wish I could do this more often.
New Doritos tortilla chips. So good they flavor the way you look at life.
Isn't bureaucracy beautiful?
When we asked 2-time Indy winner Emerson Fittipaldi to be involved in the development of the Chrysler Cirrus, it wasn't to have him help sell the car. It was to have him help refine it. He pushed it to the limits around the track. He made suggestions. The engineers listened. The engineers made suggestions, and he listened. The result of this collaboration is a specially modified double wishbone suspension system unlike any other on the road today. The Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's car of the year. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Day One is back with Sawyer and Sawyer from ABC News. Great stories well told. Day One returns Thursday at 10, 9 Central.
O can be one-on-one, or O can be 2. O is what holds companions together. O is the Olympus Stylus Zoom, a weatherproof compact camera with 2 times power zoom. At Nobody Beats the Whiz, you'll find all the Olympus cameras and accessories, like the Olympus IS3 Zoom Lens Reflex camera that zooms from telephoto to wide angle in pin-sharp focus. With Olympus and Nobody Beats the Whiz, you'll never miss another O.
The all-new 1995 Regal by Buick.
Now that is really some car. Well, let's take a closer look. First, look here. Looks great from the outside, okay, but it's got a V6. It's got your dual airbags here.
Never have too much safety.
Well, look here on the side here. You can't see them, but there's impact beams years ahead of the competition.
That would come in very handy if a certain refrigerator slammed into you from the side.
Boy, you got that.
The all-new Regal by Buick. Dual airbags, anti-lock 4-wheel disc brakes, a 3800 V6, and a touchdown of a price.
Shock as cops are arrested for abusing a child after the game.
We go to the final 15 minutes, and it's put-up time for the Oregon Ducks. They're looking at 2nd down and 16. They trail 28-14. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Danny O'Neill back. Has pretty good protection. His pass is away to Kristen McLemore. And McLemore gets a pretty good gain out of it before he is knocked out on the Penn State side of the field.
Well, if you like offense, you'll like these numbers, big numbers, everywhere you look, total number of plays. Interesting one right here for Oregon. 336 yards passing is the most against any opponent for Penn State this year. 2 turnovers, both of them have led to the opponent scoring 1 touchdown.
3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4. O'Neill's pass to McLemore in the middle of the field, and he's got a 1st down as he's inside the 30. Kristen McLemore from Huntington Beach, California.
One of the best routes in college football, pro football, is a slant, about three steps down, and he doesn't really break it off. He doesn't have to, because Penn State playing a 3-deep zone. The slants are there, and that was a good throw by O'Neal to McLemore.
8 catches, 80 yards for Chris. Same thing, except misses Ricketts. He missed Cameron Ricketts with it. Good little quickly, maybe.
Pass intended for Ricketts.
It'll be second down and 10. The ball is at the Penn State 28-yard line. It's been a tough, hard football game.
You know, Rich Brooks has done a great job. The preseason polls, the people who were supposed to know had him picked last and next to last in the Pac-10 conference. They are the Cinderella team, unquestionably. They beat Southern Cal. They beat Arizona and Washington to get here.
O'Neal doesn't have anybody to throw to. Now throws it to the ground.
And then they all look around.
There was nobody over there. Nobody went with him.
Yeah, there was.
Your quarterback scrambling, one to his right. You got to go the same direction.
Yeah. Riddle was over there just enough to allow him to throw the ball into the ground.
What are they doing to Wilcox? We haven't heard anything from Josh the whole second half. One time. Caught the ball one time.
But he had 7 catches at half. Well, he caught 19 all year coming in.
Third down. O'Neal steps up. Throws. There he is. Tried to get it to Wilcox, and Marlon Forbes got a hand on it and knocked it away.
Pass intended for Josh Wilcox.
There's Wilcox. Now watch, as the linebacker. Yamoa Cody, 43. They're all backing up. Geltizer's backing up. There's Forbes. He's just playing the area. Now his man got in the area. He'll play him a little bit. Just knocked it away.
All right, here comes Belden with a man-side field goal try.
Might be a fake here if you got one.
We'll see. He's going to mark it right about the 45. It's up. And he can't buy one. That thing stayed right, started right, stayed right.
Hit the bar,
that way all day. Hit the bar.
Hit the upright.
So he's 0 for 3 on field goals. And with 14-11 to play, it is 28-14 Penn State.
Gather up your ideas. Run with them. Where do you want to go today?
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me. And there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
How Ford reinvented the minivan in 3 words. First, we widened it, giving you the widest stance for secure handling. Next, we made it big on safety with standard dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Then we added the most room of all leading minivans for all your cargo and up to 7 passengers. And by sweeping away the old ideas, Ford created Windstar, a minivan like no other. The future belongs to the new Windstar.
Wednesday, take a peek at an all-new Roseanne.
I can't stop looking.
They're completely naked all the time. Sometimes he wears a hat.
An all-new Roseanne Wednesday on ABC.
There's a look at the field goal. Good snap, good hold. Belden gets it up. It's just going to hit the upright. 3 wide rights. Here's Rich Brooks. They may not be the biggest or the strongest or the fastest, but I think that right there shows you why Rich Brooks has been a successful coach for a long time. cares about his kids, and he'll be back.
Harry Collins wanted to let it go. Now he does. He's got Bobby Ingram back there, and it is incomplete. And he was in a full-scale duel with Jeff Sherman, the free safety.
Collins pass intended for Bobby Ingram, incomplete.
I went up there.
Jeff Sherman on the play.
Spent a day with him, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I can say over the years, all the games that I've been involved in with Joe Paterno's football team, I have never failed to enjoy being around his team.
Yeah. It's been such a delightful week. I'll never get the image of those two dancing. Joe with Sue at the director's dinner the other night, and Rich with his wife Karen, and they were the only two on the dance floor. And then Joe went over and switched, traded wives, and they danced for a while, and everybody there applauded.
Well, it's supposed to be a festival. That's why the Rose, or the ball games, the bowl games, are perhaps important in the sense that they are supposed to be festivals. But we insist on heaping all manners of hype and pressure on top of the kids, and it's pretty hard sometimes to have a festival when the media insists on loading them up. 3rd down and 7. That's a good play by Molden on Bobby Ingram. I'll tell you what, those two corners, O'Berry and Molden, and Wheaton, when he's in the ball game, has done a job on the wide receivers at Penn State.
Single coverage. Collins went to the right man. Molden, the defensive back, did his job. He had him covered.
Darrell Kenny is on the field, 42, 36, 39, and 50. Now here's Pat Johnson, the speed burner for Oregon, back for the first time today as a kick returner. I think this is part of his future, too, because he has such speed. Once he learns to play the game, look out. That one slid off the foot. Bounced right back to where Pat Johnson was, but there's too many white shirts around it. And it'll roll dead at the Oregon 27. 42-yard punt.
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Result, world-class technology in 2 all-new engines, including a 24-valve V6 that runs 100,000 miles between recommended tune-ups. Outstanding safety features, from dual airbags to a steel safety shell, even a filtration system that removes virtually all dust and pollen from the air. The totally new Ford Contour, well equipped for just $14,655.
A week of scout camp. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're going to chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lay's Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one.
Keeper!
Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lay's are special potato chips.
Is that Johnson's team behind us?
Exactly.
Are they members of Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Exactly.
Are we members of Hertz #1?
Not exactly.
So thanks to Hertz, they're going to get to the meeting on time.
And we'll be late. So exactly what'll I tell the boss?
In rent-a-car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
And then a dog in the cargo hold 8 our presentation.
Is he buying it?
Not exactly.
The USF&G Sugar Bowl is next on ABC. Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier met at the 40-yard line just moments ago. We'll be underway. It's a rematch, Florida and Florida State. Right now, back we go to Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy.
All right, Brett, you guys are in for some fun down there in Newlands tonight, I think. 28-14 here, Penn State. Oregon with the ball now at their own 27-yard line. Dino Filio, the single back for the Ducks. Danny O'Neill. Not much on the play as Tony Pittman stepped right up on Filio in a hurry. The Big Ten, of course, trying to win their 3rd in a row against the Pac-10 if the Nittany Lions close the door on this one. I know some of you perhaps wondering about the future of Kajana Carter. Nobody knows what it is, not even Kajana perhaps at this point in time. O'Neal steps away from the pressure, turns it upfield, and runs for very close to the first down. Depends on where they give him the mark. May not have given him the first down.
On the run. Joe Paterno telling us days ago that after the season he intends to sit down with Kajana and his mother and hash it over a little bit.
Also,
he was redshirted his first. This is his fourth year in school.
Interesting as they bring the chains on that Joe Paterno has had unbeaten teams in 1968 that finished second, 1969 that finished second in the national polls I'm talking about. It is the first down by just a midget. 1973 an unbeaten team finished fifth. 1986 they finally got one. But here he is again, going to probably finish the season undefeated and finish second.
Well, but he also won a national championship when he lost a game one year.
That's true.
Yeah, in '82.
That's Kristen McLemore with the ball. And a pickup of close to 7-8 yards.
The amazing thing about Joe, in his 29 years, and this is his 29th season as head coach at Penn State, he has had 7 undefeated regular seasons where he's gone through the regular season.
Well, that 78 team was a great team. Chuck Mussina, Mike Coleman, Matt Stewart, all those guys, you know, lost to Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. One of the great college football games of all time. Second down and 4, short 4. There's the first down. It's still Yaw. And Dino moves it to the Penn State side of the field, 48-yard line. O'Neal is now over 400 yards in total offense.
Here's a look from up above, the Goodyear blimp.
First and 10.
Billy number 12 just going to slide out. O'Neal does a nice job of setting this up. And then the speed burner.
Ball loose. He came away, came off the snap, didn't stay down under it, and the ball got loose. And O'Neal covers it. Danny is saying, get that building off of me.
Ball recovered by Danny O'Neal.
Loss on that play of about 4 yards. At least a good 3. Second down and 13. 12-10 to play in the game. 28-14. The ball is slapped down. Intended for Kristen McLemore, and Willie Smith dropping off. The outside linebacker knocked it down. Would bring up 3rd and 13. Saturday, January 14, season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Begins with the AC Delco Classic. And the national champion Razorbacks of Arkansas meet Auburn. Duke plays Virginia. You'll have other regional games. And Pizza Hut College basketball begins January 14 here on ABC Sports. 3rd down, big play here for the Ducks. Yeboah Cody got him. What a good play by Phil Yeboah Cody from Montreal.
He's going to beat the back from the left side. Watch as Filio, number 12, steps out to block. The first problem is he didn't step close enough to the line of scrimmage. Secondly, he tried to cut him, and Yeboah Cody, great athletic ability, just jumps over him and takes him down with one hand.
And they'll punt. Belden. Archie waiting. Didn't get it to turn, but it takes a good bounce. And Wolves head at about the 13-yard line, a 47-yard punt.